heavens.
Look good. You got that?
Yes.
Woo! All right, you're hearing a whole lot of nothing right now. But we are here, I promise you. We are here on a Friday. It's Beef Vegan and Powers. Ready to have a party on a Friday. Good morning, Powers.
Tutu, baby. How are you?
Tutu. I'm doing good. You know, we're late, so we're late to the party, but I hope people jump on board. What's up, Eric? Good to see you this morning. You see me hydrating? Good morning, Mr. Spork.
I'm going to share things.
Yeah, share away.
Share away.
As we're live on the Facebook, the YouTube, the Twitch. We are live everywhere. We're live streaming. Can be done. We got a live show for you lined up. A lot of fun and games. Waiting to see if my phones will work. That's kind of a big deal. Kind of important in what I planned out today. Like I want to do a round of Last Geek Standing, right? For our corn tickets that we have to give away. I was going to do that at 7:00, but the internet, like the storm came through last night. There must have been a lightning strike. It could have hit the tower or something. And when that happened, it fried something in the building along the internets. And we had issues, obviously. Now they do have fail safes, so you can still hear music on the radio. It wasn't dead air. So, you know, the engineer didn't know anything was wrong until I came in here extra early this morning, preparing to prep the show to have this fantastic show lined up for you. And then I quickly found out I wasn't able to do anything because without the internet, it freezes up everything. And so we're still going to have a good show. It just won't have as many bells and whistles as I wanted it to have.
What are you? I'm not worried about 40 minutes. 40 minutes?
I wanted bells and whistles, Powers.
That's nothing. You got it.
Yeah.
You got it. Now it's a more concentrated, delicious.
You ready? Get your headphones on. We're on.
I'm ready.
Rock 102.1 KFMA. It's Beef Vegan Presents. We're back here live on the radio and on the stream. I got my good friend Powers hanging out with me on this Friday.
Hello, sir.
Yes, yeah.
Hello,
Let's
sir.
get in there. Let's get into this. Being a self-professed. Oh, actually, sorry. I was nobody on the radio heard me just now. I had to hit a different button. Now we're good on this Freaky Friday. Welcome back to the show. Reintroduce myself, blah, blah, blah. Be vegan with my good friend Powers moving forward. Okay. Being a self-professed stoner and actually second generation stoner. My parents were stoners for my entire life. So, Prop 207 is like, welcome rest of the world. We've been on that tip for a long time, but as kind of a second generation stoner, I can recognize a high idea when I see one. A high idea is something like a thought that happens when you're stoned. Like my buddy, he runs a very successful sandwich chain, right? He works for corporate, and he was telling me this idea while we're hanging out, all just chilling, quote unquote. And he's like, yeah, I got an idea for a restaurant, man. I'm like, all right, yeah, what is it? He's like, how food's always better, like leftovers when it's cold. I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, that stuff is good. I like eating cold food. And he's like, a restaurant with nothing but cold food. And I'm like, nothing but cold food? Well, like, you're talking about like ice cream and stuff? Like, no, it's like we make it hot and then you put it in the fridge and then you serve it cold. And I'm like, well, you don't give that many options there. And he's like, we'll serve hot food too. I'm like, so you're telling me when people come up, that you're going to ask them, do you want food that we made today or do you want food that we made yesterday?
Is the restaurant called Leftovers? Yeah. I'm sold. I will buy as much stock as you've got to sell.
Don't do it. It's a terrible idea. It's a high idea. And then he's like, well, no, man. He's like, yeah, but the cold food will be cheaper. I'm like, yeah, because it's going to go bad soon.
That's a smart idea. Can there be microwaves on every table? Everyone gets their own personal microwave.
Right.
I love it.
No, see, you're too hot.
Oh.
So I came across another idea on the internet. And then this is a question you only ask when you're stoned.
Okay.
The question is, if you have sex with a conjoined twin, do you need consent from both? This is the question, legitimately. And the comments are the best.
Yeah.
And we go down a rabbit hole of other stoners going in, asking even more questions on this. If this wasn't a mind-blowing question enough, I got other things. Like, so the first comment I saw was, yeah, you need consent from both because they're technically two different people, right?
Well, I was going to say you got to see if the other one has plans. I mean, they might be going to the movies or something. Well, they might have plans to go to the movies. They're not going by themselves. Ever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that begs the question as well. If you do get it on with conjoined twins, is that considered a threesome? The internet completely agreed. 100% yes. That's a score. So rack that up on there. That's another notch in the belt. Another question. Actually, someone commented, actually, there's not enough info to say. Some conjoined twins have one vagina and others have two. It totally depends on the vagina count. Wow. And now, that's the debate, is the vagina count. And next time you meet like a conjoined twin on Tinder or something, you're going on a date. Now you're going to be even more stressed out. Be like, how many vaginas am I dealing with? And do I have to woo both of them? Does that mean, like I have to pay for 2 dinners? Do they have 2 stomachs? Like a lot of questions. You go down this rabbit hole. It's very confusing. Luckily, the internet has all the answers.
Well, last time I was on Tinder and I saw a conjoined twin, I tried to swipe left and right at the same time.
Yes.
Because I was attracted to one, the other one, not so much. We just didn't like the same music. Yeah. The phone just broke. I got to get a new phone.
Yeah, it happens, man. That's a very confusing thing when you're dating conjoined twins. Another person commented, definitely on the brain count, not the vagina count. Identity and individuality rely on the presence of how many brains, not vagina or genitals. It's important to recognize each thinking twin as an individual. Can't believe this even needs to be said.
Well, someone's obviously taking this very seriously.
Yes.
I wonder what their voting registration looks like as well. Let's get really deep into it.
Right. Do they just cancel each other out? One votes red, the other votes blue? Probably.
That might be it.
But then it takes a weirder turn. Oh, I love the internet.
Weirder than this.
Yes. Which is, it's a great question, but it does, it blows your mind. It blew my mind last night. I spent a good hour going down all the comments on this thread. As soon as I saw the question, if you're going to have sex with a conjoined twin, do you need consent from both? Because I need to know the answer. So then one said, well, what if one of the twins commits murder and the other twin testifies against her? Both go to jail. Yeah. Plot thickens, right?
Yes.
And then someone replied, I don't think that could happen because you can't imprison an innocent person that you know is innocent.
Well, no matter what, they're an accessory to this crime.
Right. Well, but if they have no control. So the following question was, so are conjoined twins basically immune from prison unless they both commit the exact same crime? See? Isn't that messing with your mind right now?
Just like my phone, I just broke.
Exactly. 2 more quick mind blowers. Someone responded, I don't think it would be very straightforward to have one twin perform a murder without the other's consent. And it depends on who has control of what. One twin could essentially be along for the ride. And be like, don't do it. You'd be like, the devil and the angel on each shoulder. Yes.
Except only on one shoulder this time. It depends on how long her neck is.
Yeah. So I asked that question. Let's go to the phone and see if we have an answer from a listener. Rock 102.1, who's this?
This is Robin.
Oh, Stripper Robin. Okay, Stripper Robin, real quick, you're on the air, and I don't want you to curse, but I have a question. I just need a yes or no. Okay. If you're going to have sex with a conjoined twin, do you need consent from both of them?
Do I what? I need to what?
Well, it's consent. Do you need consent? Consent is when people say, I allow you to do things.
You do.
You need consent from both twins. Conjoined.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We got the wisdom of Stripper Robin. She just filled us in. Problem solved.
Problem solved.
Thank you, Robin. Yes. All right. We have so much show to get to, so let's keep things moving. I got the phones open, so let's keep talking. 600 KFMA. It's Rock 102.1. Beef Vegan presents.
Is that your radio station number?
I just gave out the radio station number, Robin. Hold on a second. Rock 102.1. Who's this?
Hello, this is Charles.
Hey, who's this?
Charles.
Hey, Charles. What's up, brother?
Man, I was going to say, you get consent from one, that's enough for me. and I don't care how many vaginas there are, get them all.
You get them all. Yeah, but you got, if you only get consent from one and there's 2 vaginas, then you're only allowed that one vagina.
Really?
Yeah, it depends on, hey, You know how those twins can be, man. Damn.
Yeah.
You're giving it up, sister.
Yeah. That sounds a little rapey, Charles, but I do see what you're saying.
Good Lord.
Damn, well, like you say, it's a threesome.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Still counts. Thanks, dude. Have a good one, Charles. Stripper Robin, you came in at the right time. What were you asking
Yes,
about
I
my phone
did.
number?
104.2, is that what you said?
No.
Oh, what's the station number?
Oh, you're not even listening to the station? It's 102.1.
No. I 102.1.
102.1.
101. Okay, 102.1. Yeah, I want to put it on my radio station in my car.
Yeah, you should put every preset as 102.1.
Oh, yeah.
All of them.
Do you know?
Yeah, because I'm going to be out of the reservation today and tomorrow. And we're going to the casino and stuff. So I need to preset my radio before I leave.
All of them. Do you know how to preset your radio?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
How do you do it?
Mine's a little complicated, my radio, but
break it down for me.
I know how.
Okay, tell me how so I know.
Oh, well, first you have to put it on tuner.
Okay.
And then you just set the radio stations and hit the button until the station goes out on my radio and comes back again.
There you go.
And then it's set.
There you go. Yeah, you hold on to the button till it resets and then bam.
Yep, the bam, it's set.
Yeah, and then you do that with every single preset. So like 1 through 6 should be 102.1, 102.1,
So
102.1.
I just called KLPX and I told Frank, he goes, are you calling to apologize? And I said, sure, I'll apologize for, telling him to F off the other day.
Yeah, on the air.
Says, yeah. And he says, well, that's not cool on the air. I said, well, I didn't know I was on the air, Frank. I said, you never had me on the air anymore. And he says, well, okay, I accept your apology. And I said, well, the reason I was calling you because I've been listening every now and then in the mornings recently. And I was wondering why the show was so dull and lagging. And he goes, really? And I said, yeah. He goes, why is that? And I said, well, I kind of put 2 and 2 together finally. And it's been
came up
longer than
before
a week. And I said, Brad's gone. He goes, yes, he is. They have a new job and everything, have a new station. I said, oh, I know that. I said, once I put 2 and 2 together, I called him and found out everything.
That's not how that conversation went at all. I know that for a fact. But yes, that's awesome.
That's exactly how it
is. I'm very proud of Brad.
Yeah, well, I believe that. And thank you. That's very sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So I had to rub that in his nose a little bit this morning.
Yeah.
I apologize.
I think the best way, I know that he's going to cry himself to sleep for losing a listener.
Oh, the show is so boring now. Oh, my God.
But, but you're still listening and you're still calling. So don't listen and don't call him anymore and keep it locked. 102.1.
Because
every preset.
102.1.
Can I set you up with my buddy Powers? My buddy Powers is here. And
really?
He's a tall, good-looking guy with a horse wiener. I know you like the horse wiener. And the guy hung like a mule. So you got your new best friend, Powers.
No one says nay to me.
Well, I'm going to be in town on the, 16th? I'm going to be in town.
That's good. Yeah.
And,
okay. What are you doing the 16th, Powers?
Let me get my Google Calendar out. Hang on a second. I'll make some room. Let me make some room.
Yeah, I have to go see the state psychiatrist again.
There you go. Yeah. That's good foreplay.
Then we already have plans.
After 25 years, I have to see this dude again.
Oh, that's great. Well, Robin, go to your car, put 102.1 in the presets. I got to get ready for our macho news because Power is such a macho dude. He delivers macho news. I hope you enjoy it. It's coming up next. Okay, so hurry up.
I'm sure I will, Brad. Anything you do, I enjoy. So,
yes. Well, thank you so much, Robin.
I told Frank, I said, that show was Brad, not you. I said,
let me clip that. Hang on, let me get a clip for Twitch.
I know he's been out without internet or radio because there was no internet in the studio this morning, and he went in. So he's been having to wing it, and he just got done doing. Check this out. He just got done doing headlines just a half an hour ago. I'm thinking, this is too early for headlines.
Right. I know. See, I don't even know how to put together a show. And this guy, he doesn't know how to do radio so much that he didn't even have internet when the show started. So a whole half hour goes by and he just winging it because he has no access to the internet. What a joke. No. I'm so glad I'm not that guy.
Yeah, really, huh? Aren't you glad you weren't there today?
No, I know. Seriously. I mean, that sucks to be him. I'm glad I'm in a studio that has all the internet and nothing ever goes wrong.
Aren't you glad you weren't there for him to pick on you all this time this morning?
Well, now I have Powers. I bring in Powers just to pick on me because I do kind of miss it.
He misses a guy named Frank doing this.
Yeah, call me some names again. I do enjoy it.
Son of a bee.
Yep, there you go.
Well, he
Feels
can't
good.
call you names like Frank. Oh, that's all. He can't do what Frank did to you.
Yeah,
unfortunately, all my insults are just complimentary. I'm like, you handsome devil.
Yeah.
Ah,
ouch. I don't even know how to take
smell
that.
delicious. Stop. Your personality is delightful and you're a joy to be around.
Frank used to try to make you look like a 2-year-old all the time, you know.
He did.
Really mad.
Yeah, it didn't help when I wet my pants all the time.
You stop it.
Yeah. All right, Robin. I gotta get ready for the Nacho
never
News.
been on that show.
The Macho
without
Nacho
you.
News.
You know that.
Yes.
I would have never been on that show ever without you.
That's right. Well, because I can recognize talent. I can spot talent from a mile away.
Well,
you are
I
a talented
remember the
person.
day I
I'm like, she is a
called you.
superstar. I got to get Robin in on some things. And, we do this segment called the Score Report. I'm going to have you in on the Score Report. It's going to be good.
Okay.
All right. But I
remember calling you that day and telling you, how do I get on your show?
Yeah.
And you said,
You just sound like that. That's how you do
I'll
it.
make it work.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Robin, I got to go.
All right.
All right. Love you. Bye.
See ya.
All right. Stripper Robin, everybody. Let's get ready.
Amazing.
You ready for the Nacho News? Here we go.
I'm gonna run down the hall. I gotta
Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to the show. We only got a couple minutes, but the world of wrestling is on fire right now. And here to report on it is the Macho Man himself, Randy Powers. Let's get into the Macho News.
Ooh, yeah, dig it. That's right. Lots of action, lots of excitement happening in the world of professional wrestling. Yeah, dig it. Why, I don't know if you've heard, there's another wrestling organization, not just that WWE. No.
Oh, no.
Don't look up, don't look down, don't look left or right. AEW, it's right on top of you. Yeah, brother.
Oh, yes. AEW is making some power moves, huh?
Have you heard the rumors happening on the dirt sheets? Yeah.
I heard that they said they're getting big names, but the last time they said that, they brought in Christian Cage, who I love, but is not that big of a name.
Oh, hey, now you watch a Captain Charisma's coming for you. You never know. That's right. But I understand what you're saying. A lot of hype surrounding all elite wrestling. But right now, there's never been more hype than this. That's right. Have you heard who might be showing up?
No, who's might be showing up to AEW?
Yes is the word, not no. Yes. It's one Daniel Bryan.
What?
Also, yes, that's right. By the name of Bryan Danielson, he might go by again. Returning to his roots, some of that independent professional wrestling. That's where he got to start now, joining some of his old friends in the new elite organization of wrestling, brother. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. That is big news. The Dragon, Bryan Danielson, is coming back to indie wrestling in a way and joining the roster at AEW. That's the word on the street. That's not 100%, but it looks like that's going to happen.
And that's not all. Yeah, listen to this.
What can be bigger than that?
Well, there's only one other name in professional wrestling who's even bigger than Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan. I'll tell you who he is. Have you heard of him? His name's got 2 letters. His 4 more letters after that. It's C, it's M. CM Punk. That's right. The cult of personality himself.
What?
He might finally be coming back to the world of professional wrestling. My goodness, don't buy any green bananas. You ain't going to have time to enjoy them. CM Punk showing up to get you. Yeah, dig it.
Oh, wow. That is huge news. So the word on the dirt sheets, the rumor is Daniel Bryanson, I'm messing up his name. Daniel Bryan in WWE, Bryan Danielson is his wrestling name outside of WWE, and CM Punk will be going to AEW, and this will be the first time CM Punk has wrestled in a professional capacity since 2014?
In like over 5 years for sure. It's been at least that long. My goodness, I barely remember the man. Well, I remember when he joined the UFC. Oh, no, not looking too good, full of macho sadness right there.
Yeah, he looked worse than Jake Paul. All right, thank you so much. That's all the time we have, unfortunately, for the Macho News, but the world of wrestling is on fire. I look forward to touching base with the Macho Man, Randy Powers, again next week. When we return, last geek standing for your chance to win tickets to Korn. Go nowhere.
Ooh, yeah. Dig it.
Yes.
That was fun.
Yes, clear.
love
Sorry
it.
I had to rush it because we're behind schedule because of things, but
Good time. That's why you have a live stream. Yeah,
that's right.
I even brought in my prescription sunglasses.
Oh, yeah.
Now I can see it in the world.
Hey, you do.
Look into the video scope. Yeah, dig it. That's right.
I went NWO today.
That's good. Yeah, it looks good. And honestly, you look like Randy Savage. If he stopped working out for a while, but
Listen, this is probably about how he looks these days. All right.
that's true. That's true.
Just in a pine box.
Oh,
Mean, cold as ice. Don't pick on the Macho Man like that.
I do miss the Macho Man.
He's one of my favorites.
Yes.
One of my favorites for sure.
One of the goats for sure.
I wanted to piggyback on a wrestling story you told last week.
Okay.
I myself, remember we were talking about Rowdy Piper a little bit?
Yes. Yeah.
I myself, big fan of Rowdy Piper.
Mm-hmm.
Got to meet Rowdy Piper at a licensing event when I was doing my licensing efforts, trying to get my cartoon characters on bed sheets and stickers and stuff.
Okay.
Right? Still doing that.
Right.
But Roddy Piper was there. It was when they had just started the Legends stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
So I got to meet Dusty Rhodes.
Nice.
I met Jerry the King Lawler, but on the last day, remember, I'm a vendor.
Mhm.
So it's the last day. I'm even like, I got to clean up. I'm like, I want to go run to the wrestling area. Let's see if I can go meet Hot Rod. And I get in the line. I wait. I'm the last person on this line, and they cut it off right before me.
Ugh.
And I'm like, no, you have no idea. Like, I've been vending here. And it costs a lot to vend there. I spent like a lot of money.
Right.
Like, I've been this, that. You have no idea. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you have no idea. Like, Roddy Piper's and Piper hears this. He's like, hang on, let him come on. And I go to him and I tell him, I'm like, I just want to tell you, like, you're one of the best. You're my favorites. I specifically have this memory when I'm a kid because my sister loved Roddy Piper.
Mhm.
I love everything my sister loved. So we're at Nassau Coliseum. We're at the t-shirt stand. They go, we have one Hulk Hogan shirt left. And I go, no, I want the Hot Rod shirt.
Yes.
And I remember my dad. I remember even looking up. I remember having the memory.
Uh-huh.
He's like, are you sure? Like, they have one of these left. I'm like, nope, I want the Hot Rod shirt. And I bought the Hot Rod shirt. I told Roddy Piper that story. He got up from his seat, moved the table, and hugged me.
Oh,
and
man.
I got a photo with him. He's got his arm around me. I'm right there in Piper's pit.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was the best. It was the best.
That's the best. I'm pulling up this picture while trying to make you jealous.
Oh, is that what you let me say it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
Because Roddy Piper, I'm with you on that too. Like my favorite growing up. Like Hulk Hogan was awesome, but Piper was just the coolest.
He was cooler. He was cool.
He was.
Because he was just wild. He was wild card.
Yeah.
You know?
Full blown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the wild man. I
Mhm.
love it.
Yeah.
I love it. One of his, I forget what I was watching. It might have been like the 92 Royal Rumble, like the best Rumble, like whatever.
Mhm.
One of the times where he runs out to the Royal Rumble is one of the greatest, like just him running out because he runs out, his arms go out, he's just shaking his head. He looks like a lunatic. It's like run away from this man. Like,
Yeah.
he's so cool. I love him.
And he was. And the thing is, when you met him in person too, you were surprised at like how average his build was. He
Yeah.
wasn't that tall of a man. He was maybe 6 foot
Yup.
on a good day.
Yup.
Right. And he's wrestling like Hulk Hogan's like 6'8",
Yeah.
you know, like a monster of a man. And he put over Hogan. Like the reason why WWE exploded was one in part because Hulk Hogan, but if he didn't have an adversary and Roddy Piper, then they wouldn't have Rock and Wrestling. They wouldn't have the huge explosion that they had. So Piper really, and he knows it, he would brag about it all the time. Be like, you don't have WrestleMania if you don't have Roddy Piper.
Even Hogan started saying that. They talk about that, like
Yeah.
where they started giving more of the people in that main event match a little more credit. And Piper came into like a renaissance.
Mhm.
Like people really started to really like love and appreciate Roddy Piper, and especially later in his life because he was just a lot different,
Mhm.
you know, and just so funny and still mainstream on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and just doing all that fun stuff. But like, he wasn't a body guy, but he hung out in the biggest body guy era and was able to like absolutely hang with these guys. Do you know how many times Roddy Piper had his shoulders pinned to the mat by one Hulk Hogan?
Oh, yes, I do. 0.
That's correct.
That's right.
Give this man a prize. My goodness. 0 times, because that is the best.
Well,
that's how good he is.
Yeah, well, he refused to do business like that. He's like,
no. Isn't that something? That's amazing.
Even in WCW, even during that run, everything else is just like, you're going to have to figure out a creative finish because I am not laying down for this
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I love it.
And he's put over plenty of people. I mean, he's obviously lost matches. Everybody in wrestling does.
Famously to Bret Hart even. Like,
yes.
That was a big thing. I think that was WrestleMania Intercontinental Championship.
Yes.
Yup.
But there was a lot of respect there. There really wasn't the respect for Hogan. He just would never.
Certainly not. And the
more
more time marches on, the more we keep discovering that, it seems. It's a shame. It's a shame. I always like to put it like this.
Okay.
This is how you enjoy some of your characters that disappoint you, like Kramer from Seinfeld or some of these other folks. You say, you know who I love? I love that Hulk Hogan. Terry Bollea is a idiot, a jerk. Hulk Hogan, though.
Right.
Brilliant. Because that's how you do it. You got to love that character.
Yeah.
I love Hulk Hogan, that bigger than life character from growing up, like loving Rocky.
That's why I go by Beef Vegan, so I could be the biggest asshole ever, but hey, that's just Beef Vegan.
That's not exactly.
Brad's a nice guy.
She was talking about some guy named Brad. I don't know what she's talking about at all. Look at that handsome devil.
Look at the screen.
Did you get to interview him?
Yes.
That's what it is. Yes.
So the story goes, I'm doing a show in Phoenix, literally at the beginning of podcasting. I'm on the FM, but I have maybe a dozen listeners, maybe. But I worked up a relationship with the Tempe Improv, and and I had a great relationship. And so what I talked them up, and they're like, okay, we're gonna start bringing you guests, because it was a time in radio in Phoenix where a lot of the shows went syndicated, so they didn't have a place to bring their headliners that weekend to be interviewed. And they usually do the media rounds, right? So they had this opening, and I'm like, I'll take them, right? And I'll do whatever I can to make you guys happy. So the first guest that they gave me, the very first guest, was this icon, this childhood dream hero of mine, right? So I had it back-to-back days too, because Piper was in town for WrestleMania, and he was doing a one-man show at the Tempe Improv.
Yes.
So he comes to my house. I broadcast out of my house on the west side of Phoenix, and it's a very humble home, right? Some might say it looks like a crack home.
It's not a little cottage. You say humble home. It's like, it's a little cottage.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that cute. It was in an area in a neighborhood that, kind of like Breaking Bad could, depending on the street that you go on, look like you might get shot. But I thought it was a decent neighborhood. It was a very middle-class neighborhood. But he was going to $1 million radio stations and studios all over the country. And then he goes to this podunk house on the west side of Glendale. So when he gets there, he doesn't want to get out of the car. And he's got his son with him. And, he's just sitting in the car, and the handler's like, Mr. Piper doesn't want to get out of the car. And I'm like, well, can I go talk to him real quick and see if I can convince him? And they're like, absolutely. So I go and I talk to Roddy, and I'm like, hey, I'm a huge fan, right? I want to talk wrestling with you. It's a complete honor. I understand that this setup is very sketchy, but I assure you that it's not. And I'm just a kid that's, chasing his dream.
Clawing and scraping.
Yes, exactly. And so he lit up, and he's like, okay, absolutely. So he comes in, he's sitting there. He smokes. I didn't know he smoked. He smoked in his entire run. So this is probably one of the reasons why his heart gave out on him.
Oh.
Yeah, he smoked cigarettes, did lots of cocaine, a lot of partying. So then I sat down, and I had over an hour-long conversation with him, marking out, and just, going back and forth, cracking jokes. And this is before, like, a lot of stories that Piper ended up telling on his podcast, before it became common knowledge amongst wrestling marks.
Yes.
I was able to get all this information, and it was fantastic. And one of the highlights, and that set it off. The very next day, I had Tom Green in my house and studio. So it was back to back. So, and these are two idols, right? So Tom Green was equally as important because Tom Green's whole career was basically DIY as well.
Yeah.
So he related. So I had these two guests back to back that left my house being like, you're the man, you got this, you know? And then I never gave up since. But Roddy Piper, you know, to be able to have that, the memory, the photograph. And the only thing I regret is I don't have the audio of that interview because I didn't have the technology and I lost that file over time, and it sucks, and that's 100% on me.
Yeah, maybe it shows up one of these days. You never know.
I don't know.
You never know.
I mean, I had it.
People record.
It was on the internet. I mean, before podcasting blew up, my podcast page was getting over like 10 to 20,000 downloads per episode. And because Adam Carolla put me on blast, he talked shit about me. And
really?
Yes, because that's a different story altogether. We don't have time for that.
We'll talk about that one day.
Yes. But what I'm saying with that is there's a lot of people that downloaded that episode of the conversation. It's out there.
It has to.
Yeah, I just don't know how to get it. All right, let's go back to the comments. We got to do Tom Green was fun for sure. Yes, and then Talia did make it awkward doing hover dick stuff. Yeah, that's Todd commenting because Todd was there. Todd was there for the Rowdy Piper show that whole week. It's fantastic.
Heck yeah.
Oh, by the way, this next segment's brought to you by Liquid Death. Liquid Death. Drink water out of a can like a real man.
Isn't that the best marketing you've like ever seen?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want some Liquid Death.
Yeah.
Like, what? We are so behind on our schedule. I got to drop all these songs.
Good.
I know.
Drop them like it's hot. Drop it. I like Cactus Jack in there. Bang, bang. Bang, bang for Cactus Jack. Kaboom.
All right, I want to hit the reset here, but I still got to catch up on all of your comments here. Yes, you did tell me that, Eric.
Yeah, hell yeah, Eric. That's awesome.
You told us that last week.
So get ready to talk about wrestling every Friday. Extra. Just an extra little bit.
Oh, yeah, Shang. Oh, yeah. Now you're remembering all these old schools. Nobody knows who Shang is, though. He was a comic. He was one of the first comics, but yeah, he's kind of like a C circuit comic. I mean, I don't even know who he is anymore. Oh, yeah, Bob Levy. Reverend Bob Levy was in early days. Oh, it was crazy because there was a run there for a couple of years before there was new ownership that I was getting these top guys, these very top end girls, like superstars. And I Biff from Back to the Future at my house, right?
Really?
And yes, at my house, Tommy Chong at my house, chilling with me. And all of them would say the same thing every time when they show up. They immediately look at their watch, whether they were wearing one or not, and say, ooh, something just came up. So I only got a couple minutes. And I'm like, okay, absolutely. We'll sit down. It'll be a nice little conversation. And then I'll let you go. And they would sit down and I'd start talking to them. And the next thing you know, the 5 minutes pass, turns into a half hour, turns into an hour. Then my show ends. And then they're still hanging out at the house like a half hour after my show ends. And I'm looking at my watch being like, I got other things to do, guys. You got to go. So more often than not, I had to kick the guests out and be like, you got to go now. Then as opposed to what they would do. They would look at their watch. They would come up with some bullshit excuse. And
because then it's the opposite situation. Because now they're not in some cold studio. They're at someone's nice home who's welcomed them.
Well, not nice. I mean, it was not even nicer than this setup here. And I'm in a broom closet. Stains on the floor. I think I smoked in my house at the time. So It smelled like smoke. Yeah. I mean, I was a bachelor, single dad bachelor. So so there was layers of filth there. I mean, when I would think it was clean, it was never actually clean. It never smelled clean. But I would get these celebrities here and they would stay in the house. They would stay and they would chill. And it was great. The conversation was great. And again, it was before podcasts blew up. This is like 2010, 2011. So the podcast format of long conversation, they weren't used to that. Yeah. And it was refreshing and everything. And I honestly, like, one of my biggest regrets in this industry is that I didn't have enough money to pay for the service for the data because I was getting so many downloads that it would end up costing me like over $500 a month. And then it would only grow from there just to host the podcast. And it was before we can get advertisers on a podcast because none of the businesses knew what the fuck a podcast was.
Yep.
And didn't want to advertise on there.
I remember that time period kind of.
Stupid. Okay,
Yep.
we got to get on. Let's do this. Anthony Keita says, give it away. So I say, we're going to give it away to some tickets here. Rock 102.1, KFMA. I almost made that make sense. Yeah, so we're going to give away tickets for Korn and Stained right now. As we do. We've been doing this all week long. I will announce this too. So next week, our big ticket giveaway is going to be that of the legendary group Cypress Hill. So all next week, we're going to be giving away tickets for Cypress Hill, but it is Friday in this week, so we have one more pair of tickets to give away for Korn with Stained at Auction Pavilion on September 13th, and you can win them right now if you play a little game called Last Geek Standing. 600 KFMA, that's 600-5362. I need about 5 contestants, so give me a call right now if you want to win those tickets, and let me hit this intro. Let's go.
Play the intro music.
I don't think that's necessary.
Play the music, nerd.
Beef Vegan presents.
I think people should freak the geek out. Freaks, the weirdos, the misfits, the geeks, the dweebs, the dorks.
Last Geek Standing.
All right, our phone lines are lit up. Let's meet our first contestant here. All right, caller, what's your name?
Hey, I'm Jose.
Jose, you're contestant number 1. Hold on for me, okay?
All right.
Caller, what's your name?
I'm Brian.
Brian. Okay, it's Jose versus Brian. The theme that we're going to do again this today, I should say, is which came first. So I'm going to give you 2 examples, and you're going to tell me, you're going to buzz in with your name, and you're going to guess which one of those things came first, which one debuted first. Make sense?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So buzz in with your name if you think you know this answer. Which came first? iTunes or MySpace?
Jose.
Jose.
MySpace.
MySpace is incorrect, Jose.
Ooh.
That means I gotta let you go. Sorry, buddy. All right, was it Brian?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Brian, you moved on to the next contestant. 600 KFMA, call in. All right, Rock 102.1, who's this?
This is Ralph.
All right, Ralph, you're going up against Brian. Buzz in with your name if you think you know the answer to this next question. Which came first? Slipknot's Wait and Bleed or Korn's Freak on a Leash?
Brian.
Brian.
Korn.
Korn's Freak on a Leash is correct, Brian. You're moving on to the next. All right, good job. So now 2 down. Got a couple more to go here. 3 more to go. Rock 102.1, who is this? Say your name again. You cut out.
James.
All right. We've got James against Brian. All right, buzz in with your name if you think you know the answer to this. Which came first, Pizza Hut or Domino's Pizza?
James.
Brian.
James.
Domino's.
Domino's? You are incorrect, James. Sorry, Brian, you move on to the next. Yeah, so Pizza Hut came out in 1958. Domino's Pizza came out in 1960.
Ah.
Yeah, fun facts. Brian, you're hanging in there. You didn't even have to answer that correctly. Let's move on to the next. You have 2 more to go. So hopefully you'll be the last geek standing. Rock 102.1, who's this?
Spencer.
Spencer versus Brian. Buzz in with your name if you think you know the answer to this. Which came first, the Whopper or the Big Mac?
Spencer.
Brian.
I heard Spencer first. Wait. Yeah, Spencer
Big Mac.
buzzed in first. You said Big Mac?
Yes.
That is incorrect. Oh, Brian, you lucked out again, buddy. He buzzed in before you, but he answered incorrectly. The Whopper debuted in 1957. The Big Mac debuted in 1967. So you didn't have to guess these last 2 questions. You moved right along. That's the good news. The bad news is you have 1 more contestant to go. If you get the answer right, you're going to win these tickets. If your opponent gets the answer wrong, you're going to win these tickets. But if you guess and you get it wrong, you're going to lose these tickets. So, beating these 4 people may mean nothing depending on what happens with this next call. You prepared for this? Brian.
Terrified.
Brian, are you even there? How did you just cut out on me, bro?
Uh-oh.
Let's see.
Cut out. I'm here.
Oh, there he
Oh,
is.
you are there?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Okay, it's Brian. All right, then Rock 102.1. Who's this?
This is Ralph.
Ralph. Okay, Ralph versus Brian. This is the last question for the corn tickets. Whoever gets this right or wrong. Buzz in with your name if you think you know the answer. Which came first? Wells Fargo or Chase Bank?
Brian.
Brian buzzed in first.
Chase.
Chase is correct.
Oh,
Ralph, good job. Brian, you ran the gauntlet, my friend. Congratulations. Yes, Wells Fargo debuted in 1852. Chase Bank, 1799.
Wow, no kidding.
Yeah, man. It's almost as old as this country. That's insane, right?
That is wild.
Yeah.
I figured the stagecoach might have been doing it.
Right. That's what I thought too. But Brian, congratulations. You somehow squeezed out a victory in Last Geek Standing, and it was not easy to be the first caller and make it all the way to the end. So I commend you, my friend. Are you still there?
He's there somewhere.
All right.
Hit
Well,
a different button.
stay on hold. We're going to get all your info, and congratulations. We'll be right back.
Hilarious.
Brian, you there? You cutting out, dude.
He's somewhere.
Yeah, I know you're there somewhere, but I need to hear you. All right, we're gonna hit the reset, go, and then we'll be right back with more Beef Vegan Presents. I love seeing all these people on the stream this morning. Let's keep those numbers up. Share, like, comment, all the good stuff, and we're gonna do a pop quiz here in just a moment. All right. So, thank you. All right, we're gonna get back on the stream.
Do it up. I'm throwing comments in that comment section.
Nice.
Throwing them comments around.
Yeah. All right, let me show you this here. I wanted to show. I got a video to show you before we pop quiz it, and we got more stuff. And since I feel like, our stream is smoother because I don't have too many cameras on right now.
I'm sure that's part of it.
Yeah.
It has to be part of it.
Yeah, before I get a new computer, there's workarounds, right? So I found a workaround here.
There you go.
And I wanted to show this video and share this video with you guys because I thought this was awesome and crazy. So this is land rising in India. Now, we don't know exactly what this is. There's theories as to what this could be, what could be causing this. And watch this, Powers. But none of the theories were confirmed, and geologists were kind of arguing as to what can do this. Okay,
Land Rising isn't a band. That's what I thought.
No, land rising, like literally, like right now, what you see is some water. This is in India.
Yeah.
What you're going to see is the land raise up in real time. Now, it's not tectonic plates because tectonic plates, that's a bigger thing. So it would cause a bigger land mass.
Sure.
This is something smaller, but it's still crazy. Check this out. Now you're going to see it here. See that come up like that?
Yeah, that's just odd, huh?
Isn't that odd? And it keeps going. Now, this is in India. You would hear people from India talking. So, I mean, I'll play you some audio, but you're not going to understand what they're saying.
Earth is pissed.
You see how big that got?
Yeah.
Out of nowhere?
Now, is this, I assume is like kind of happening, like they were ready to like watch this happen. Is this like high tide, low tide with land?
Well, see, the problem is, like, I don't know. There's not too much backstory on this. It's just a viral video. And of course, it happened in India. So, yeah, it didn't seem like they're prepared. But my only guess and assumption is that it was already happening. And then they got ready to go over where the water is so they could see it with the water.
That's crazy.
Now, there was a theory that I saw on the thread that it was a sinkhole. A sinkhole happened. And then when the sinkhole happened and absorbed a lot of water, the water then went downstream and kind of pushed the land up. But they're watching this just kind of grow.
What kind of theory is that, though? It's obviously this theory. Mole people. Done.
Giant mole person.
Absolutely. Even worse. Yes.
Yes.
One giant mole. Some sort of mole man.
Mm-hmm.
Some sort of Hans Mole man. Maybe not Hans Moleman, but
and
either
look,
way.
It divided the river.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So no river, no more. You got a pond on one side, river on the other side. And now you have a dam.
I mean, damn. I agree.
A hot dam.
That freaked me out. Nature freaks me out. What's
the freakiest thing that you've seen in person from nature that just kind of blew your mind and scared you?
I went to it's like Bisbee for rich people. Sedona? Is that it?
Yes.
So,
absolutely.
I went to Sedona, and that's where they have those rocks, right?
Okay.
And some of the weird rock formations because they have the vortexes.
Mm-hmm.
So you go up there and the trees, the weird thing about it is like some of the rocks are weirdly green or blue, but the trees and some of the things they grew in this weird spiral, like not the, like, you know, in nature, there's like basically the golden ratio, the thing with like a pine cone and an artichoke and flowers. That's a pattern in nature.
Mm-hmm.
The way things grow, the way Brussels sprouts grow on a stalk is like this pattern.
Yeah.
By the vortexes, everything goes against the pattern and it's all gnarled and twisted and mutated. It's like, it's weird.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very odd. So that was definitely one of the weirdest things I've ever seen.
It makes you believe in the power of the vortex. I mean, if that's an energy,
you can feel the power of the vortex for sure.
Absolutely. I haven't felt the power of the vortex. I've been to Sedona several times.
You got to let your feminine energies flow.
I have boobs, man. I have feminine energies for sure. I'm a one giant man chick. And so I was surprised that, A, I didn't feel the vortex. B, I didn't start menstruating immediately because of it.
Well, I'll tell you, how long were you there? Was it just a quick moment of vortex? Or did you really go there, bring your rocks and lay them out?
No, but I'm doing that with my daughter here soon. She's been begging me for that because she's really into crystals and all that.
She's born in the right place.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's good. That's a good time. Did you ever, let me ask you this. You want to follow up? What's the craziest thing you've ever like not seen, but survived in nature? What's like the crazy thing you survived? Ever have a run-in with nature where it was like, uh-oh?
I think the closest thing, and I've been fortunate. I mean, there was a couple earthquakes in San Francisco, but
terrifying.
Nothing major on that. Yeah, they're scary, but in the place I was at, I was fine.
Okay.
There was a microburst at my house when I was 15.
Yeah.
And the way that this happened, we were living in an area where there's a little mountain right behind us that we could see, a mountain view. It was around 3 or 4 in the afternoon, so it's bright out. But then you look just beyond the mountain, and it's a wall of black, like pitch black. So all you see is this curtain of black coming, and it's daytime, right? So above me is not a cloud in the sky. And then about, a mile away, it got this black curtain coming this way. So I'm like, all right, this shit's about to hit the fan. So sure enough, it came in, and it came in strong. And we thought it was going to blow out all of our windows. It blew, I had to go out and grab the gas grill. Yeah. And it started pulling me, so I had to get back inside. It blew over walls, like those freeway sound walls. It blew that over. Now, that happened, and we survived it, and it was fine. It was a little scary, but we're also 15 years old, little stoner guys. They're just like having the time of our life. Power went out. Power was out for like 3 days in the middle of summer, right? So immediately, we looted up the grocery store. We went full blown like, power's out, let's go. And so we ran out.
We going looting.
Yeah, going looting. And pulled that out, grabbed a bunch of liquor and everything, and some candy. And had fun for the next couple days.
There's like a candy and cigarettes, just 15-year-olds hanging out in a post a storm. That's a good time.
Yeah. I mean, it was uncomfortable because it was super hot and humid for the next couple days with no AC, and they were giving out ice, and it was a crazy time. But I just remember seeing that and feeling that uncertainty, of
that's the feeling.
Yeah.
And then you see the chaos the next day.
Yeah.
So one time I survived a tornado. I lived in North Carolina for like 9 months, and we didn't realize, we're like, there's almost like City Mouse in the country. Like, there's tornado warning. What do you mean?
Right.
What's that?
Yeah.
We don't really have a basement. I don't know. Let's open the door and look. And it's like everything instantly fell completely dead quiet. It was a thunderstorm and then like a locomotive. It was terrifying. And everything in the porch went boom and slammed against the screen. We ran down into like the basement area. That thing annihilated all the homes on the street behind us.
Right.
Yep. If that was a few hundred feet over, destroyed.
Oh, run. That is crazy. Rock 102.1 KFMA is Beef Vegan Presents, hanging out with my good friend Powers. We're talking about our close calls in nature, terrifying things off air. I'm having fun with that. I came across this piece talking about Netflix. Apparently, Netflix has not been having good business lately. And of course, last year, during the pandemic and everyone locked down, there was a big boom in streaming services. Not only people subscribing because they were stuck home with nothing else to do, but then a bunch of other streaming services debuted, like Disney Plus and various ones that would be competition for Netflix.
Yes.
And I initially thought when Disney Plus announced that they were coming, I was like, oh, that's the end of Netflix, man. Like, they own everything that's good. At this point, they own Fox and Disney. And, if you think about all the great classic movies in the past, they put out a lot of those great ones and Marvel. Yeah. But I was wrong. I was sadly mistaken because Disney Plus is very family friendly.
Absolutely. Here in America, it is.
Oh, is it like more adult in other
Europe,
places?
In Europe, there's an extra little channel, and it's like just got action movies and regular other movies that Disney and their like subsidiary companies have made, like I think Touchstone or something. Right?
Okay, yeah.
So, but we don't have them here because it's Disney is family friendly, clean as a whistle.
Yeah, as much as I've been enjoying Loki and some of the Marvel stuff on Disney Plus, I find myself not being on Disney Plus that often. But a lot of people still been cutting the cord on Netflix, and Netflix promised big gains these past 2 quarters, and they failed to meet that. So, Netflix is stressing. They were down 430,000 subscribers in the U.S. and Canada in the second quarter, which begs me to ask you the question, 600 KFMA. What streaming service have you dropped recently? There's so many of them now. I saw a meme about Amazon Plus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Saying that I think it was a comment that turned into a meme that went viral or whatever the case, but they basically said, I haven't had Amazon Plus in like 6 months. I haven't missed it a single day.
Yeah.
Right. So what streaming service did you ever subscribe to where you just decided to let it go and you're like, I'm done with this one. This one's not living up to my streaming needs. Do you stream? Do you use stream services?
I got rid of cable like 6 years ago.
Right. So you, cut the cord a long time ago.
Living off the internet for a long time. And I got friends that send me links to various parts of the web so I can watch things on cable that aren't usually available on these streaming sites. Like that professional wrestling. But Netflix is getting a little dusty. I like that Paramount Plus for that Star Trek. But once you're done, you can put that free trial to bed.
Yeah.
That's right.
So you're watching Paramount Plus just for the Star Trek.
And then done. Picard was phenomenal.
I would watch it just for Beavis and Butthead and the MTV Challenge. I like those, the Challenge. I love that show. That's a guilty pleasure show. Derek on the stream wrote, he dropped Paramount Plus after it switched from CBS and stopped putting out original content. So I thought when Paramount Plus dropped their big commercial during the Super Bowl, they showed a lot of different promising characters and content. And
that's because that is Paramount Plus. Remember, it was CBS All Access first.
Right.
And now they merged and made it Paramount Plus because Plus is the term apparently for these services. Amazon Prime is the one that you're thinking about, but you think Plus,
yes,
right?
Yes.
I think that's where they're all going. Even HBO Max, they'll change it to Plus in 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Yes, right.
But that's probably why Netflix lost a lot. HBO debuted a few months ago, HBO Max, and the movies on there are free. Remember, King Kong came out.
Yes.
You just watch it. Tom and Jerry, Space Jam, not worth going to pay for them. So here they are.
Right. Exactly. And, there has been a little bit of blowback at the movie theaters because initially when Black Widow came out and Disney did the dual release, Disney head honchos released a press statement saying, hey, this was a huge success. We were waiting to see if this model would work. It worked. It's fantastic. This is going to be the model moving forward. And then the next week, Black Widow underperformed hugely.
Probably a huge percent drop. Yeah.
A huge, they made nothing the next week. And now theater owners across the nation are banding together being like, no, screw that business model. You're screwing us over. And now we're all going to die because of you. So they celebrated too soon. And literally a week after that victory lap that they took, now they have to take a step back and we have to reevaluate this. So don't get too used to big blockbuster films coming out on stream services the same day, especially if they have potential long-term value for theaters because they need to keep that afloat.
They do. That's because also, the movie theaters, it's something to do. It counts as, what do you want to do? You want to go to the movies? It's an activity. If it's just sitting there, it's like, oh, you want to pay $30 to put this on? Well, I have every other single thing that's ever existed available. We could watch that instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you're right.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I do have access to pretty much all the streaming services now, and it still seems like nothing's on.
There's nothing on at all.
Right.
Don't forget, Disney also kind of owns Hulu too. It's just, you don't realize it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they got it all. They got it on lock.
Those sneaky bastards. Wait a second. I think Disney owns me.
Oh, I'll check. There might be a logo on your ass.
That's what that was. I thought it was a mole. Clear. All right. Yeah.
Boom.
0-1-2.
0-1-2. 0-1-2. I'm going to let's say ass, right?
Oh, you're absolutely allowed to say ass.
There you go.
You can say thumb, you can say ass. You just can't say thumb in the ass. Can't be sexually descriptive.
Is that what it is?
And that's my rule of thumb.
Oh, well done.
Thank you. Thank you. Been doing that one for years.
That's funny. See, again, I was saying, I love that you have back pocket stuff. You have stuff that you've just said or done, whatever that it's not like you made up material, but you just have material the way that a person would, because it's just there. Oh, I've made this up. There's a fun connection. That's it. That's hilarious.
Thank you.
That's my rule of thumb.
And it's been very simple. I mean, whenever I would explain this, I would have to explain this to all guests when they're on and to do the radio rules.
Yep.
And that was the easiest, most simple way to explain it where they got it. Okay, yeah, I can. So I could talk about like, I mean, we're gonna do F My Life in a little bit, right? And it gets a little randy, F My Life.
Yeah.
But yeah, as long as it's not sexually descriptive, you know, in the way that I word it, I'm not saying then he slides the PP in the hoo-ha. I can't even say that.
Right.
You can't even say that because then you paint the picture of the action.
Okay.
It's descriptive, right? So
are you all writing this down? Write it down for your various podcast live streams. Oh, those rules don't apply. It's just radio here.
Yeah. On a podcast, you can literally record yourself banging and be like, this is the podcast. And I'm sure there's podcasts like that. I actually came up that idea years ago. This is how stupid I am. I come with lots of dumb ideas before I come across a good one. And then the rule for me basically is like come up with 100 ideas to get a great one.
Please tell me about podcast banging.
Okay, so it wasn't even podcast banging. This was for the radio show.
Okay. I
was doing a show with my co-host Shorty. Her name was Lisa. She was cute girl and very sassy and everything. And I had producer Buddha. And I said to Buddha one day, I was like, I have an idea. I think, you know, Shorty and I should have sex and record it and then play that back on the radio to see how bad it was, you know? And for whatever reason, I swear to you, Powers, as much as it sounds like a joke right now, I was dead serious. I thought I was revolutionary. It would be great radio. Now, I didn't even consider the fact that hugely illegal, huge like FCC shut you down. Hardcore. Howard Stern on satellite radio can't even do that.
Wow.
Yeah. So bad. It was a terrible idea. I was sold though. I was like, this is going to be great. And I think it would be awkward and funny. It's not even for the sex. It's just for the awkward and the comedy part of it.
Yeah. I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
It's research.
Luckily, just based off of Buddha didn't even have to say anything. Just based off the look on his face, I realized I was dead wrong. And I didn't bring up that idea to Lisa because that probably would have ended our work relationship.
If it was just a word, yes, probably not the best pickup line.
No, it wasn't even a pickup line. I wasn't even trying to date her.
Oh, yeah, not date. Okay, pickup.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just like, hey, you want to do the same? I mean, keep in mind, everyone was volunteering. Nobody was getting paid. So it's even worse. Even worse.
Well, it would be illegal if you paid her.
No, I mean, if I filmed it, it's technically not illegal. It's porn.
Oh, if you filmed it and paid her, it's not illegal. Isn't that fascinating?
It is. Well, Family Guy pointed that out years ago.
Did they? I stopped watching a long time ago.
They did like a sting. Cops like, freeze, this prostitution sting. Like, it's not prostitution. I'm filming it. Like, oh, my bad.
Really?
Cops walk out. Yeah.
That's funny.
Uh-huh.
The more you know. Da, 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 da. There it is.
Right. Yeah, they have the only.
Because, yeah, it's called OnlyFans.
Mm-hmm.
That's the streaming service that's taking everyone by storm these days.
That's very true. That is very true. And we're going to talk with the OnlyFans model Tina Beans on Monday morning.
Oh,
if she wakes up in time. Tina, she went viral, and we talked about her this last Monday. She went viral because of her story. Her OnlyFans page got hacked by ISIS. Like legitimate ISIS. And ISIS started uploading videos of beheadings and stuff like that on her OnlyFans page. This happened in December, right? Now, initially it went a little viral. The FBI investigated, and when the FBI investigated, they found out that yes, in fact, it was actually ISIS. And then they were hitting up for $150, only $150 to get her account back. And she's like, "F it, I don't want my account back. You're done." Okay,
now, if anyone doesn't know that scam, people will get your login to certain things and they sell it back to you. I've known that it'll happen to businesses too. I've known this happen to a business, and a friend of mine that was basically blackmailed, but for $20, we'll take it down. And he's like, forget it. I'll just pay the $20. So we did it.
Yep. Yeah. And you should never do that. But I mean, it happens. So this what happened with Tina. And she was making like $2,000 a month on OnlyFans, and then she kind of shut down. So anyways, this happened back in December. Well, after it was verified, she got interviewed by a reporter in February. And so she did the interview and didn't think anything of it. She didn't see anything pop up from it. So what happened was the interview was verifying all the accounts, making sure, everything that she was saying was true before they would publish the story.
Sure.
Well, last week they published a story, and a story as salacious as that quickly goes viral. Yeah. So plenty of other websites and news sites piggybacked off that initial story being released, and now she's viral. So I reached out to her on Instagram. I slid in her DMs.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, and I'm very good at like booking OnlyFans models as guests. Like I'm 3 for 3 right now. So and I can't seem to book any other real celebrities, but these OnlyFans girls, they'll respond. And but no, I reached out to her and we commented. I was like, hey, if now's the time to bring your page back up, right? As far as your OnlyFans page, if you're considering it, do it now, because I have talked to girls who went viral, 2 of them, in fact, who now make like, or at least for a run, made $10,000 to $20,000 a month just based off of this global press, right? It's a numbers game.
That's the definition of there's no such thing as bad press. People
Exactly.
say that with like bad news happens to them. That's not quite true.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those things like, oh, did you hear about this news story? What happened with this girl? 100,000 people are going to go look at her OnlyFans.
Especially because she's cute.
thousands-
If they think she's cute, then
course.
they're like, oh, well, yeah, that's the one I'm going to
And
look at.
thousands and thousands of more people that have never gone to an OnlyFans are going to see this in a mainstream news story, and it's going to finally be the thing. Well, let me go look at this one.
Mhm.
It'll be their little gateway to go look at OnlyFans. That's interesting. Now remember, OnlyFans. There's a guy in Phoenix. I saw this in I think the Weekly or something like that.
Mhm.
He makes $40,000. Like, it's not just for ladies.
Yeah.
Like, he makes $40,000 showing his feet. Like,
Yeah.
he's doing the feet thing. I was like, this guy's even in the newspaper for this. This is disgusting.
He probably has nice feet, though.
But who? I'm sure.
Yeah.
40 grand worth.
Yeah.
It's like, you almost can't blame anybody for this sort of thing. Like, right? If you could do it, you do it. And you can do it. You can do whatever you want. OnlyFans is, you can go pop balloons. You can be a guy, girl, whatever you want. Someone wants to watch you pop balloons, sit on a cake,
Right.
do
No,
weird
look,
nonsense.
I'm all about supporting the independent artists. And I've talked about this with consultants. They want me to do this idea of doing the Beef Vegan Presents, the OnlyFan Girl of the Week, but local, right? So I look at it like this in the pitch, and I've done this. I said this on the stream before, but the pitch is that stop supporting big porn, whack local.
Whack local.
Fine.
You just,
Yeah. You got you have your local content providers that are doing all that. They're doing all the dirty work, and might bump into them at the grocery store. So, I know that the station really wants to do an OnlyFans Girl of the Week. So it's about getting them caught up and then getting the right promo together. And then we will do that. And then maybe even interview them. And then maybe, this is best case scenario, if the OnlyFan Girl of the Week does like work out, then we could say throw a party at Congress and have an OnlyFans Girl pageant, right? Where we could find our Miss OnlyFans of the Beef Vegan Presents show. You like that idea?
Beef, my God. Hang on.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
My word. Catch my breath.
That's like I said, good times.
That would be an excellent fun night. That would be a fun pageant.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fun time. We might be able to talk some of them, the local burlesque girls too, if you want to fill it out, because there's a lot of these awesome burlesque dancers.
Yes, I've been to
groups.
shows at Shirley Wench. Yeah, Shirley Wench.
They are fun. They're really good. What was that one girl's name? It's someone with an L. I watched some girl. She was wearing a steel pair of panties. Can you call them panties if they're made of steel? I don't know. But she had a buzzsaw. And she's making sparks fly from. One of the greatest things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
$10 at 191 Tool.
Yeah. It's fantastic, right? Yeah.
All day. It was so good. No, they're great. It's really good. So fun. That's right.
I think most of them, some of the burlesque dancers probably did open up their own.
That's what I'm saying. There's
page.
probably some crossover.
A lot of crossover.
How could you
I would
not?
assume, yeah. I mean, if you're already kind of, and this is a great thing with OnlyFans, it's all different body types and girls. I've researched it a little bit. Yeah. So there's something out there for everybody.
He's so serious. I've researched a little bit, and I absolutely was just like,
it's for the
And
show. It's only for because it's my job.
A friend of mine calls it a fact-finding mission.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're on. Rock 102.1 KFMA. It's Beef Vegan Presents on the F My Life Friday. Got a lot coming up on the show with F My Life at 8 o'clock. We're going to also have the Tucson Roadrunners president, Bob Hoffman, in studio, which I'm super excited about because tonight there's an NHL draft party happening at the TCC.
Oh.
Yeah, which I'm going to. I'm going to be there hanging out with the whole crew because I'm so stupid. I didn't even put 2 and 2 together when they first announced this, but like basically whoever the Coyotes draft are probably going to the Roadrunners. So it's really like a Tucson Roadrunners draft party. We're going to see who the next like big stud who's coming to town is going to be and who might be the next potential big breakout star in the NHL, because that's what we do when we watch Roadrunners hockey. So
Heck yeah,
that's big. And then we'll have Herb Stratford in studio talking about movies and games. But first, I want to talk about this. Came across another thing. How stupid are people? Yeah, I'll give you a quick answer. Very. All right. So it's simple as that. We're amongst the masses of dumbasses. Okay. And there's plenty of them, present company included. Okay. In fact, actually, I posted, there was a link on the KFMA page yesterday. Actually, I don't want to get into it because it's so stupid. It borderlines political and people don't like talking about that crap. So I'm not going to. But there was someone on Reddit who asked doctors, name the dumbest things that they've heard from patients who decided to be their own doctor. And we got some good examples. And I have an example as well because I'm equally as stupid.
oh goodness.
All right, so I'll bang out some here. A guy showed up to the ER with a minor cut, and there was red powder all over his hand. And it turned out to be paprika. He put it on it to stop the bleeding.
Why not?
Right?
Perfect sense. You grab what you got.
Mm-hmm. And I started off with the least dumbest. It gets dumber. Okay. A lady called her doctor and asked if her hemorrhoid cream would still work on vacation because she read you're only supposed to apply it locally.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. 100%. This is what the doctor said. Now, could it be a joke? Nah, I don't think so. I'm going to go ahead and think that it's not. Number 3 on this list, someone had a cut that was seriously infected, and it turned out it was seriously infected because they rubbed dirt in it because they heard it would stimulate the immune response.
Well, people are not the best.
They're dumb. Right? It's okay to say that, right? The masses are dumbasses. A doctor mentioned that his back was hurting. And then the person he was talking to immediately diagnosed him with spine cancer. And they were wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he's got to check his brake light fluid too.
Yeah. A woman read somewhere that drinking urine was a good idea, right? And you could survive off it, but it's not a good idea because she drank it every single day and she ended up having kidney issues and had to go to the hospital because of it.
Well, I don't blame her. Well, no, she's the only person to blame. What am I saying?
That's true. And this next one's the second dumbest example because the first dumbest example I'm going to give you is my own.
Okay.
All right. But this lady had a baby who had a really bad diaper rash, brought her into the doctor. And the reason why the baby had a diaper rash is because her mom had been pouring water into new diapers before putting them on. And the reason why she did that is because she thought you were supposed to do that because the diaper ads were always showing people pouring water on the diapers. You stupid, dumb ass.
Wow.
Lady.
Wow.
This is why you need licenses to have kids. Stupid people breeding.
That's
the dumbs bang. We know this.
Again, license. Well said.
All right,
well said.
I think I could top that.
All right.
I had surgery on my throat when I was younger.
Go on.
Yes. I had something I thought for a week that I had throat cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like my throat would swell up and everything. So I went to my doctor who happened to be my pediatrician as well. So he saw me growing up. I was only like 21, 22. So he checked me out and he left the doctor's office and he came back like 20 minutes later with tears in his eyes. And he told me that I might have throat cancer. It's a very terrifying thing. So I tell my friends, word gets around quickly. I'm still young enough to still be kind of in a high school circle.
Sure.
Right. But now we're at bars instead of school.
Yeah.
So word gets around that I might have throat cancer. So it's good, juicy gossip. A lot of people talk about it.
Yeah.
So then I go to an ear, nose, and throat doctor. And they said, oh, it's not a big deal, just a polyp. And I got that from singing incorrectly. And I injured myself. I got a polyp. It's very common. A lot of vocalists get a polyp. It's like poking a rubber band and then stretching that rubber band, and the bump that you get after is a polyp. So easily removed. Now, they told me polyp, and I'm telling you polyp. But immediately after, I have a problem of when I hear things, I register it differently because I'm stupid. So I heard phallus. I don't know why. So I go out to the bar later that night. Now I've run into a bunch of people. It's Tuesday night, Bobby McGee's. The place is packed. I know about 100 people in that bar, right? So people are coming up to me. Oh my God, you okay? I heard about the news. And I said, oh, no, it's cool. I just went to the doctor today. They just told me I got a small phallus growing in my throat.
Oh my goodness.
Now, I told this to at least 50 people that night. Went around, going around. No, I just got a small phallus growing in my throat. Oh, I just got a small phallus growing in my throat. And then 2 days later, I'm at my mom's house and I'm talking on the phone and I tell someone else, I just got a small phallus in my throat. And my mom laughs like, and I'm like, what's so funny? It's like, you're such a dumbass. You know what phallus means? That's penis. I was like, oh no, I've been telling people I got a small penis growing in my throat. And I realized two things. All right. One, I'm incredibly stupid. Right. But two, I told a lot of my friends that I grew up with. Right. And now one of them stopped for a second and said, wait a second.
Yeah. They didn't flinch at all.
No. So I hang out with stupid people too.
One of them's going to the doctor tomorrow, probably just going like, I gotta go check if I got any phalluses growing in my throat. They don't know. I've had a little tickle.
Yeah. And people so now you know, like, hey, why's your voice sound so like deep and scratchy? Well, obviously I got phallus growing in my throat.
Really?
Yeah. True story.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
When I was young, I was nothing that bad. When I was young, I for a hot minute, I flip-flopped the two C words.
Oh, yeah?
I thought each one had the opposite. That's embarrassing. One day. You say the wrong one. It's like, what? Like, that's funny. When you're first learning a curse word, you have it completely opposite. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Everyone, give him. I love the Kirsten's got a round of applause for you.
Yes, thank you, Kirsten.
Well done.
Thank you, Kirsten.
Well done.
That's thank you, Kirsten. Let's see. I got some other comments here.
That's ridiculous. That's really funny.
Yeah. Well, the third observation and realization that I had was, well, for like A, I'm dumb. B, my friends are dumb. And then C, the Arizona school system is shit. Because we all went to the same schools in the same districts. And like, oh man, we all weren't taught shit. Now, of course, these are my friends that did not go to college.
Yeah.
And these were the cool ones. These are the cool, good looking partiers that were still around.
Yeah.
21, 22, partying in the bars and areas that we grew up with. And, I didn't tell that to my NAU friends when I, was going up there. Cause I think at least one of them would have told me, hey, dummy, you're saying you got a dick growing in your throat.
That's old Dick Throat Brad.
Yeah.
Hey, Dick Throat.
Hey, Dick Throat.
Hey.
What's every time I spit, like hawk up a loogie, like,
oh my God.
Yeah, you know where I was going to go. I'll stop right there, ladies and gentlemen. I'll stop right there.
He's just sitting around his friend, just sitting like, what do you guys want to do later? Hang on a second. On a second. Adam's apple itch? No.
Yeah. See some of these other here.
Oh my goodness. That's hilarious. I love telling stories that are ridiculous.
Right. There you go. Thank you, Vegan Negan, for pointing that out. It was a funny observation, though, that I could have shared, but, it talks about vaccine and stuff like that because there was.
I was going to even almost make I was like, is there a vaccine for that?
It is. Okay, I'll tell you. I'll tell you guys on the stream, but just know I'm not getting political.
You get the bonus on the stream.
So yesterday on the KFMA page, Razor posted a story about Live Nation doing some $20 special. All right. And then this girl, the only girl that's been hating on me since day one of the announcement of me coming to the show and doing the show, made a comment. And of course, this is the type of comment she would leave. And again, she's the only one, people like Riley, but the whole music in the morning bullshit, nobody's listening to morning radio for that, right?
It's not like Riley's gone. She's on a little later. So
yeah, exactly. And she's happier now, trust me. But anyways, so she's the only one like, oh, you got to keep Riley. You guys are making a mistake and blah, blah, blah. But she's the only one making these comments. And just hating. And she's like, and then after the first show, she's like, I tried, I'm out. No, we're not listening to this station anymore. I'm like, okay, you tried one day. I think you made up your mind before you tried.
Yeah.
But this is the kind of stuff you're dealing with. And I checked out her page. I know what her deal is. Her deal's, she's dumb. So she's kind of, she politically speaking, she's a COVID denier, anti-vaxxer, right? It's hard to deny that it's a thing at this point in stage. But again, I don't judge people on that. But this is an example of somebody you could tell where her stance is based off of how she absorbs information. And this is the perfect example. So he posts this link saying $20. And she made a comment saying, as long as they don't make me show my vaccination, I'm in. Right? Like vaccination records, because that's a big argument right now. It's like the Nazis are going to be making me show that I got vaccinated and you're taking away my freedom and stuff like that. Whatever. I don't get the argument, but I understand that it's being said. So I fucking with her as Rockwell 2.1. I was like, well, actually, the $20 is the vaccinated rate. It's $300 for people who are non-vaccinated.
Oh, man. Welcome to the can of worms.
Right. So instead of, and it could be very easily debunked, right? Just going on, I was like, we could be wrong, but I believe $20 is the vaccinated rate. So instead of like clicking on the link, or she's like, well, then I'm not going, I don't miss concerts that much. So she's just immediately there. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because it's a perfect example of how she's getting her information. She's reading a headline and the comments. She'll take the headline and the comments as the word, as the information. She won't do any other reading beyond that to see exactly what it means. So if she would have just clicked on it, she would have realized that there is no vaccination bullshit, blah, 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 blah. They don't care. They just want to get people out. Now it should be, for the safety of others, if you're not vaccinated, and you might want to wear a mask, but if you don't want to, and you risk being sick, then I guess at this point that's on you. Right.
Yeah. If you can't pay people to take this at this point, I'm pretty sure everyone's already gotten it.
Yeah.
I'm surprised when I go into a CVS to pick some up and someone's getting it. I'm like, what were you doing a month ago? What were you doing? This and that. But whatever. There is a group of people that aren't anti it. They're anti. I just want to wait a little while first.
Right.
And
to
make
see
sure
how
no one's
plays
skin
out.
falls off.
Right. And
that's fine.
And I know, I wasn't first in line for the vaccine. And then at this point, I'm still like, kind of like, well, we'll see what happens in a couple months, hopefully, because you hear enough noise, eventually some of it gets in. You're like, well, maybe.
Do you have any time? I get paranoid regardless. Like it was a couple days later and I got a headache and I'm like, oh, I wonder if it's because of the vaccine.
Right.
And then I'll be like, oh, I lost my keys. I wonder if it's because I got that vaccine.
Yeah.
You start wondering.
No, I only had one side effect and it hasn't gone away yet. And it's very weird and concerning. My penis grew 3 times bigger.
3 times?
3 times bigger.
Wow.
Yeah. Now it's 3 inches and I don't know if it's going to shrink back. I don't know, so I'm concerned the side effect. And honestly,
and that's on a hot day.
If I put that out there on the internet and people actually believed it, people would be lining up for that vaccine left and right. Be like, give me another one.
Right.
I need 4 shots.
I'm surprised that they didn't. If they had the penis enlargement cure, they would have just released it free with the vaccine.
No, the penis enlargement cure would cost $1 million a pop, man. Are you kidding me? Like,
no, see now, I don't think so. If you notice all the patterns in our country, that they'll just give that to us. Because again, that Viagra's a penny. This is that. All that stuff is almost nothing.
Viagra's super expensive.
Is it super expensive? I thought you kind of get it.
No, it's insanely expensive. And shit, insulin, which keeps diabetics alive, is insanely expensive. These pharmaceutical companies rob you. So I'll give you an example.
I was in Nogales. I think that was.
So I went to a doctor here once I got health insurance. When I first came down here, because I was like, I finally got health insurance. Go to the doctor, get a checkup. So I go to a doctor. I didn't realize I was in a pill mill. So I was a doctor who didn't give a shit. And I was like, God damn it. Like, so he wasn't giving me like a full body checkup like I wanted. I wanted like an actual exam. But he's just like, oh, you're fine. I'm like, all right. He's like, anything else I can do for you? Well, I'm like, well, I want something out of this. I'm paying like at least $20 just for the visit. Give me a subscription or prescription to Viagra or Cialis, whatever. He's like, okay, no problem. So he writes me up Cialis. So I'm like, oh, cool. So I try to go to the Walgreens and buy it. It would cost like $300 for like 11 pills or something like that. It was insane. They're like $40-something a pill, like insane amount. And this is past the patent too. This was almost 5 years ago, but I think it's not even, they don't even own the patent anymore.
Yeah, but wait, how much did it cost with your insurance?
No, the insurance didn't cover it at all. And most insurances don't.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's an insane amount. So I mean, that's why people go to Mexico to get the deep pills, because it's a totally different story.
$2.
Yeah, it's super cheap.
$2, put them in your boot.
Mhm.
Walk on back.
Mhm.
One time.
Right?
One time. So funny. But I don't know. You ever got, how many times you got into Gallus, things like that?
I went to the Gallus the other day.
Yeah?
Yeah, to get the testosterone gel. So yeah,
What's
that's my
that?
little fountain of youth. It's gel that you rub on your shoulders and stuff. It kind of keeps you energetic and everything else. It's
Now,
like, I call it the fountain of youth for the pores. See, the rich people, they get HGH and stem cells.
Yeah.
And they probably eat babies.
You don't mean
I
skin
read that.
pores? You mean the pores
The
like
poor
the people?
Yeah. Not for my pores, Yes. but to increase
So-
the metabolism and things like that.
Now, how long have you been using it?
A couple years.
So do you
Since I started
feel-
losing weight.
Did it help you lose weight, or were you just
Yeah.
losing weight?
No, it helped me lose weight.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Do you feel any other? So you think any all positives? Because
Yeah.
I used to hear those commercials. They play on this radio station.
Yeah, well,
where they
I
talk about
talked to
testosterone.
Yeah, I talked to Dr. Arizaki when he came in.
Okay.
And, I had a lengthy conversation off the air about how I felt, over the last like decade and everything else. And he's like, absolutely. So like after talking with him, it convinced me. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is something I could look into. And it did. At first, I thought maybe it was a placebo thing, but it's not. It's not. It actually, physically, and it balanced me out. It really did. Yeah. So, and the way I do it is I was kind of microdosing it. So I take a packet, one packet, and I split that into two.
Okay.
So that's basically 2 doses.
Yeah.
So it's 25 milligrams a night is what I'm loading up with. I do it at night, and and so I'm just good to go. The energy, everything, and then physically, sexually, all that stuff is
it's
good.
up and it works.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
it's fantastic.
This man is not a doctor, but I'm.
No, I know.
Okay, none of this has anything to the views and recommendations do not represent a radio station.
Yeah.
Regardless of the logo behind him and all that sort of thing. Tell me more and bring me the next time you.
It's
but seriously,
funny.
actually, I'm serious. Next time you take a trip, now I wouldn't mind going. It's been a while.
Yeah.
And my buddy I used to go with moved away. So I
It's
would
such a
go.
good trip.
It is a fun trip.
I tried to bring tramadol back, and they stopped me at the border. I wasn't allowed to bring that back. I had a buddy of mine ask. I said it was my mom, but it was a buddy of mine saying, "Hey, bring back some tramadol," and I'm like, "Cool." So I thought it was like anti-inflammatory, and they're like, "You can't bring this shit back here." I'm like, "God damn it."
So now what happens when they find you with something? Are
Well,
you just
since
like,
I
"Oh,
wasn't,
whoops"?
since I was openly just trying to carry it and just pleaded ignorant, they just took it and didn't let me bring it over the border. So I lucked out and not getting arrested. They gave me a little bit of a hassle, but I'm like, guys, like, I would have keistered this if I knew this was a big deal. Like I didn't. I said it's for my mom, rheumatoid arthritis, anti-inflammatory. It's not oxys. What do you think I'm doing here? And I'm showing you. Like, why would I show you if I thought it was illegal, right? So I played dumb. It worked, and it helped me out. And luckily, it was a slow day. But yeah, it was good. I went down there. It was very quick. Like nobody was at the border. Popped over. I go to the same pharmacy. She sees me about like once every couple months.
Wow.
Yeah, and usually I go down and I pick up stuff for other people too.
Yeah.
All the
like
dick pills.
cigarettes, food.
I'm coming with all the dick pills. I'm just going across the border like Santa Claus of dick pills. yeah.
Well, jingle my bells.
And they're like, so what do you got? I'm like, well, I got some Viagra, I got some Cialis, I got these. I don't even know the name of these, but they're supposed to keep you hard for 3 days. So,
Wow.
Yeah. Like, Jesus, man.
That's hilarious.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, that's really funny.
I'm like, oh, they're not for me. The guy across the hall that I used to work with would make fun of me for doing the testosterone thing and on the air and like belittle me. He's doing it now.
Oh,
Mhm.
now did he actually at some point just be like, yo, I think I noticed a difference? Did he like say it, or is he
Well,
brand new doing it?
the difference was undeniable.
Oh, really?
I lost like 50 pounds, man. And I got like,
Have you done anything else? You haven't
well,
done
I
a
started
little
working
bit?
out and
Okay,
everything, but
working out,
I had the energy and everything.
All
the
right, that makes some
metabolism.
sense.
Yeah. And
That makes a lot of
so,
sense.
yeah. And then
Plus,
physically,
you're a dad, so I know. Like, here's the thing: like, I know that I have a lot less gray hair than some of my friends because they're parents. I realize that's a lot of it. Is that
yeah.
that'll wear you down? You're a dad. That's going to wear you down. You got a lot on your plate.
Yep. Yeah.
You know. So, no, that's interesting because it was always on my mind a bit.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. I love live streams. You see what you get. You see what you get.
Oh yeah. I was like, you cut
This
out.
is the real show right here.
Nah.
Right? This is the good stuff.
I love it.
I got to check to make sure, Bob. We were about 50 seconds away from F My Life. If you guys have an F My Life situation you want to share on the stream, type them in now. Let me know.
I forgot. That's what this was.
Yeah, that's what that's for.
That's what I was like. I brought it up before. I was like, this isn't. What is this for? Like, I'll just throw one or two in.
All right, here we go.
Woo!
Yeah, that's funny. Because he needed it too. Because he'll feel better if anyone needs any more testosterone. It was that guy. He's too estrogen filled. I'm talking to the streamers here.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. Rock on 2.1 KFMA. That's the Pretty Reckless and Taylor Momsen. Welcome back to the show. It is now 8:06, and it's time, since it is Friday, for F My Life. These are unfortunate situations that have been emailed to me at beef@kfma.com. I almost said the other email address. I got like 7 of them. So if you got one you care to share and want right on the air, completely anonymously, email me, beef@kfma.com. Or if you have the guts, you can give us a call, 600-KFMA, to share your F My Life on the air. Here's our first F My Life situation. We'll weigh in on whether or not the person's life is F or they're just being a big baby. All right, here we go. Today, I had sex. All right, so far so good.
Yeah.
The guy texts me an hour later saying, that was awkward. Let's not do that again. F My Life. Powers with the live sound effect says yes.
I thought sex was like pizza. I didn't think you'd have a bad that. Apparently, she wasn't delivering the goods.
Right. No, it could always be awkward. Let's go to the phones, see if we got F My Life here. Rock 102.1, who's this?
My name's Ashley.
Ashley, do you have an F My Life you care to share?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was driving down the road out on Marana, and a huge log came through my windshield and stopped inches from my face, which is actually kind of the opposite of F My Life. But I was saying F My Life like all day after that because it was so scary.
100%. Okay, so let me recap. So Ashley's driving down the road, and all of a sudden, a huge log flies through her windshield, misses her, which is good, didn't end her life, but still wrecked your car, totaled your car, and scared the bejesus out of you, right?
Yeah, scared the bejesus out of me. Didn't total my car. I was able to get everything fixed, thank goodness.
Did you get any extra money out of that?
Nope.
No extra money.
I had to pay for everything.
You had to pay.
Truck left.
Really? So you had to pay for everything out of pocket? How much did it cost you?
Yeah. About $200.
Ooh.
$300.
Still, yeah. I'm weighing in. I'm saying F My Life. Powers, what do you say?
I said that's certainly F My. Have you, my dear, have you never seen the documentary Final Destination? You can't be driving behind those things with the logs.
Yeah.
You gotta look
exactly
out.
What it was like.
I'm not surprised.
Well, hopefully it's not exactly like Final Destination. It wasn't.
She made it.
Yeah.
She made it. But be on the lookout. You never know where a little bit of water might get in your path.
Oh. Yes, absolutely, Ashley. Your life is effed. Thank you so much for sharing that. Frank, hit the sound effect for her.
Hey, but you're alive. Oh.
Yes.
That's good, though.
Yes. So, yeah, it's only going to get better from here. I promise you. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
No problem. All right, next F My Life situation. Today, I yelled at my girlfriend for something trivial. It happens. Instead of yelling back, she was scarily calm and said, remember, I got 50 pounds on you. Yell at me again, and I'll lay a pillow on your face and sit on it until you're dead. Huh. I think she might mean it. F My Life.
Boy, you ain't ever sleeping again.
No, yeah, that's definitely an F My Life. And yeah, she says something like that.
Yeah.
Believe her.
Don't go to bed angry.
Mm-mm.
That's always good advice.
All right, next situation. Today, I've noticed that to get my boyfriend to do what I want, I must bribe him with food instead of sex. I mean, food is good. Sex is, if you're in a relationship, frequent. So what do you say there, Powers?
Well, the best way to a man's heart is through his stomach, right? That's what they say.
That's one way.
So that's one way. But at the same time, it looks like she's having about as much success as sex at that other girl earlier who's just getting phone calls saying, no thanks.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, F that.
Next situation today, a woman I've never met drove to the house I live in and tried to buy meth. She knew my name, and I have no idea how. I retired from the Army in December, and I'm in the hiring process for Customs and Border Protection. So this is actually pretty sketchy. So if this guy is applying to be a Customs and Border Protection agent, and then some ladies just knocking on the door, this is some Breaking Bad type stuff.
Yeah.
Right? To like scare them from even getting a job. I'm going to say F my life. They know your name and trying to buy meth off you?
Let me ask you this much. Does he have a common name without giving away? Is it like Brian, like Cranston?
No, I can't give out the name.
No, don't. But is it a kind of a common name? Is it
like Brian Cranston?
Yeah, like something, like
it's Hank.
Okay, well, you got to go pay someone to scrub your legend off Google. Apparently, someone's changing your backstory. Look out.
Yep, watch out now. All right, final F my life for the day on this Friday. Today, I overheard my mother's request to be spanked harder by my dad.
Oh, hang on.
Got to hit all the sound effects on that one.
Oh, already.
There you have it. Your F my life. We have tickets to give away for the Tucson Sugar Skulls. I'm going to play a fun game to give away 3 pairs at once next on Beef Vegan Presents. Go nowhere.
I like that. Go nowhere.
Where you going?
Nowhere.
I'll do that again.
That is hilarious and gross.
Yes.
That was a good one. Let's
good
just
way to
hit all
end.
the fails on all of the sounds. I like the Pac-Man. That's great.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I got to say, I just remembered something from before. I can't believe a woman was pouring water in the diaper. That is so funny. It makes a lot of sense. That's what they do in the commercials.
Right.
At least it wasn't like detergent because it's blue. Like at least it wasn't something poisonous.
Right. Yeah. Like Gatorade.
That's
I got to pour Gatorade. Yeah. It has electrolytes.
It's Gatorade Fierce. Don't worry. It's good. That's really nuts.
I know.
That's really nuts. That's so funny. Happy Friday live stream.
All right. Live
hit
stream.
That share button.
Yeah, hit that share, hit the like and everything. Frank's going to be commenting on the stream. I'm going to hit the reset. We got more that we're going to be doing here on the show, but I got to get ready for my next guest and give out these tickets to make sure I have them all situated. So that's all housekeeping stuff I didn't want to bore you with. So talk amongst yourselves. We're going to be right back on the live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, you can't give away. What can you give?
I mean, I could give away a lot of stuff. In fact, actually. Yeah, no, in fact, actually, get on real quick. So, false alarm. Frank's asking, what can we give away on the live stream? And there are certain things. So I've been mentioning the Tucson Sugar Skulls all week long. I'm going to do this on-air game, and it's all or nothing, right? So there was a different name I had for it that was cooler, right? Anyways, the concept is I'm going to ask 3 people the same question. If they get it right, they all win a pair of tickets to the Tucson Sugar Skulls. But if one person gets it wrong, boom, they all lose. Okay. So if that's the case, and I have these extra tickets, people on the stream, when I say, if you want to go to the Tucson Sugar Skulls game, give me a call. Then we'll get you guys on the list so you can get those tickets and check out a game. It's a good time.
See that?
See?
VIP treatment.
It pays the stream.
It does.
All right. So hitting the reset again. Be right back. Bob is deep. Yeah, get emotional with it. Yeah, play some emotional beats here on the live stream. I'm emotional. Yeah. All right, let's do the little streamy stream. I got 35 seconds before I try to do this contest. We'll see if it even works, but
I like this contest.
I just got to remember what the damn name. Oh, it was something like all for one or none for all.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. There we go. I was high when I came up with it.
Good thinking.
Thank you.
Ideas.
Rock 102.1 KFMA. It's Beef Vegan hanging out with my good buddy Powers on a Friday.
Oh, it's Friday.
Woo! And I want to give away 3 pairs of tickets at once. It's something that's never been done in the history of this radio station. This is huge. This is a historic moment here. So I need you, if you want, to go to the Tucson Sugar Skulls game this Saturday, I believe. Oh, they're playing against the Bismarck Bucks. We got to beat those Bucks. We didn't have an opportunity to do so in the finals. So this is our opportunity to get revenge on these other Bucks. It is happening. Yeah, this at the TCC, July 23rd is today. So you got to pick up those tickets today by 2 p.m. So if you want to go to the Sugar Skulls game and you could pick up those tickets today by 3 or 2 p.m., give me a call, 600 KFMA. I know it's a tall thing to ask. And I don't know why I said tall. I know it's a big ask.
Order.
Tall order. Thank you. That's why I have you here, Powers. So I know it's a tall order to ask if, but if you do want to go, I do want to play this game. What I call it again, Powers?
Oh, it was all for one or none for all.
There we go. All for one, none for all. I need contestants, though. So I know I got at least one. Let's meet our first contestant. Okay. Well, we'll see if this works out. Give me a call right now, and we'll find out if we give away 3 pairs of tickets at once or none at all. And we'll find out after Metallica. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. I couldn't ask for a better setup.
That's so good.
Yeah.
That's what Vince McMahon said. Nothing can go wrong when you're live, pal.
Yeah, exactly.
That's comedy gold. Let's see who this is.
Perfect.
That's the way that should have been written.
Exactly. I did write that. That was on purpose.
Dial tone.
Yeah.
Punchline. Dial tone. It's so funny. Do you remember the episode of Seinfeld where they're in the parking lot? They can't find the car. Remember that one?
Yeah, it's iconic.
Yeah. At the end of the episode, the car doesn't start. That was not planned.
Oh, yes.
You look through the window, you could see them shaking. They're laughing their asses off because the car doesn't start.
Right.
It's like, that's the way it should have gone down. That's comedy gold. That's funny.
Perfect.
That's all time. Make sure you call 600 KFMA live stream. Let's go. I know we got lots of people in Brazil watching, Paraguay.
The problem with that,
Ethiopia. You can't go to the game.
In theory, that's a great idea. The problem with that, I mean, I would have to completely take us out of the stream because I ask everyone the same question.
Yeah.
But if they're watching the stream, then they hear what the question is. So then they'll.
Oh, when they don't know. Oh, that's right. You asked the same question.
The same question.
People.
Yeah. And I'll do that. Well, I mean, obviously, I'm not going to do that with these tickets. Maybe I'll grab them for my own. Actually, I got plans on Saturday. But
still, I'm just bragging that Ethiopia is watching. We got Estonia is looking at the live stream. Lots of places. Guam.
Welcome to the stream, Guam.
Absolutely. We got all the analytics. Here, look. Let me just go look some things. Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
Jordan.
And no, 8 a.m. is never too early on a Friday to start coming up with some ideas.
That's right.
Wink, wink.
That's right. I haven't been to bed.
Yeah, exactly. It's true.
This is nighttime's the right time for me.
Powers don't sleep.
It's the way to do it. That's what keeps the anxiety away so I don't miss a show.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
I do have to check on Bob. See where you at, Bob?
No, Bobby boy. Let's go. I wanted to meet this man.
He's a good man. He's a good man.
Oh, Derek's brainstorming. He's cooking it up.
There it is.
He's cooking it up. Cook up some ideas. Get those ideas going. I'll tell you. You know what? Here's one. Take an ice cream sandwich, put it in an ice cream cone.
Uh-oh.
I'm a genius. I did that once. Posted online. It got more likes than oh, you graduated college. Got a master. No one cares. Ice cream sandwich and ice cream cone, though. Genius.
Right.
Genius.
Rock on a 2.1. Who's this?
This is David.
David, you trying to win those tickets to the Tucson Sugar Skulls?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, you are my first caller here. So, and you might be my only one. So I'm going to say you won straight up because I don't think I'm getting any other callers. So yeah, I'll get your info. Can you pick up those tickets by today? By 2?
I can pick up in a couple hours. I'm on the road right now, sir.
Okay. And you've won on this station before, right?
I don't know.
Okay. What's your last name? Actually, I got another caller too. Frank, I might be able to do this.
Let's get.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to do, dude. Hold on 1 second. Hold on for me, David. Don't go anywhere. Rock 2.1. Who's this?
Spencer.
What's your name?
Spencer.
Oh, Spencer. Okay, Spencer again. Turn down your radio for me. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this, Power. It's just gonna be nice. Turn down your radio for me, Spencer. I'm gonna put you on hold. You're gonna be one of my contestants, okay? All right. I have 2 people.
There you go.
All right. 2's better than none. 2's not as good as 3, but it's better than none. I'm gonna ask them both the same question, and if one of them gets it wrong, then they don't win. Okay. I'm gonna recap that. All right, Powers. I got two people on the phone. I'm going to ask them a simple question. If one of them gets it wrong, they're not going to get these tickets. But if both get it right, they'll both win tickets to the Tucson Sugar Skulls. David's on line one. David, here's your question.
All right, what's that?
How many players are allowed on a field during an NFL football play?
Repeat that one more time. About the line broke up.
How many players are allowed on the field during an NFL football play?
Wouldn't it be counting offense and defense? I would say 24.
Okay, hold that thought. They already lost. David or Spencer. Spencer. Yep. Okay. Well, we got to get back on here. Hold on a second. All right, so I attempted to do this game here live, and I failed a little bit. I'm going to be honest with you. I have Spencer on right now. Spencer, if I asked you this question, how many players are allowed on the field during an NFL football play, what would the answer be?
For both teams, it's 22.
22. That's right. All right. I asked that same question to the person who's trying to win tickets with you. Let me play what he said right now. All right, Powers, I got two people on the phone. I'm going to ask them a simple question. If one of them gets it wrong, they're not going to get these tickets. But if both get it right, they'll both win tickets to the Tucson Sugar Skulls. David's on line one. David, here's your question.
All right, what's that?
How many players are allowed on a field during an NFL football play?
Repeat that one more time. About the line broke up.
How many players are allowed on the field during an NFL football play?
Wouldn't it be counting offense and defense? I would say 24.
Okay, hold that thought. Did you hear that, Spencer? That means technically in this game, in this all for one or none for all, you would lose. That's the bad news. The good news is I still need to give away these tickets. So this time around, I'm going to give you those tickets to both you and David, even though you got that answer wrong. But technically, you should have lost, and you need to know that you should have lost.
Participation trophy.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a participation, because you sound like one of those millennials that just wants a ribbon just for playing. So I'm going to hook you up. Does that sound okay with you? I'm going to say yes. Spencer's phone keeps cutting out. Yeah, that's all right. All right, we're going to have Tucson Roadrunners president Bob Hoffman in studio talking about their big NHL draft party that they're hosting at the TCC later tonight, and that's coming up next. Go nowhere. Clear. Powers, I need your assistance.
Yeah, want me to go open that?
No, I want you to put in their names and stuff.
Okay.
All right, guys, I got to hit the reset. We're going to be back here live with Bob Hoffman, so make sure you stick around. Thank you. And I didn't have my microphone on at all when I said that. Rockwood 2.1 KFMA is beefing and presents in studio. We got a very special guest, like family. President of the Tucson Roadrunners, Mr. Bob Hoffman. Good morning, Bob. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm great. Good morning. Good morning. Great to see you guys.
Yeah, it's good to be seen, and it's good to see you because we're celebrating, first off, getting past the pandemic year, which was a very difficult, strange, just a weird time. Right, to have a professional sports organization.
So strange. I mean, you don't know what you're doing as far as a playbook, and how are you supposed to handle this? And I mean, it is life or death, and it was something that nobody could have imagined, certainly. And you always want to make sure. Yeah, I mean, with all the sickness and what people were dealing with, I mean, we're just a sports team.
Right.
It's like, and let's know where our place is and where we kind of rank in there, and let's let the world get back to normal, and we'll hopefully fix things in due time. And now it looks like, we're getting better and better. I mean, hopefully we're not going to slide anywhere, but you get these benchmarks that are coming, which is great. Like here in studio, right?
Yes.
That's new.
Yep.
We're putting on an event this week. So tonight. So, that's new, back to the arena for something that we're welcoming as many fans that want to show. So, I mean, it's seeing those little thresholds that we're kind of getting to.
What are you saying here, Powers? What are you saying?
There's an echo on the live stream, so I just.
Oh yeah, okay, I know exactly.
It might be mine.
No, that's on me. I'm glad you pointed that out.
Okay, cool.
It's just my angelic voice.
yeah. And with that, like everyone, let's talk about this event, this NFL or NHL draft party that you're throwing at the TCC. This is really cool, and it is a come one, come all, right? There's no cap on it. Just like if you show up on time.
I hope we have to worry about a cap. That'd be fantastic.
That would be
start
awesome.
Turning people away, but no, not at all. Show up anytime in that range. It's 4:30 to 6:30. It is. Free of charge. We're doing a bottled water drive. So if you do have the extra, or if you'd like to participate for the food bank, you can come and drop that off on your way in. But really, there's no obligation. There's nothing else that's there. We just want people to come and enjoy really a good kind of moment in hockey. And the fact that tonight's the NHL draft, you see a lot of young players, and it's really funny. I mean, people get in other sports. Obviously, you get drafted in the NFL, you're going to go on the big roster. You're going to some will play, some won't. Baseball and hockey are both a little bit different because when you get drafted, you probably won't see the NHL or Major League Baseball for years.
Right.
Well, where do you go to cook? You come to Tucson. So a lot of these guys that are going to be drafted tonight and tomorrow will start their careers and be a part of Tucson Roadrunners history.
And that's what I was telling Powers. And initially, when we talked about this, I was like, yeah, that's a cool event. That makes sense. And it didn't even dawn on me that, like, wait a second, this is a Roadrunners draft party because whoever we draft, will be coming to Tucson and working on their chops. And so the next the potential stud and superstar, we get to watch as a homegrown talent coming straight here. In most cases. So
it is. And I mean, at some point now, it's so interesting, like with baseball and hockey, I don't know how they do it. I mean, they invest in, 16 and 17 year olds, and that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
But I get it. If you see a superstar and 4 or 5 years from now, you think they're going to be something special. They may take a pick on them now.
That's a gamble though.
It really is. And that's sort of changed a little bit. It seems like it's tilting a little bit more to college players, to junior players that have kind of hit their maturity, which is 20, where they can't play in junior hockey anymore. So it's sort of started to change. And the Coyotes have so many, our parent club have so many picks tomorrow, really. Tonight's, unless they trade into it, they're not going to really be a big part of tonight in the first round.
Yeah, they don't have any picks in the first round.
Not as of yet. I mean, things could happen and you never know. But they, tomorrow now, I believe they're up to 4 second-round picks tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and if those guys are, 20-year-old and ready to get up into the pros, they're probably going to start here in Tucson. Now, if there are 18-year-olds that they draft, like what we saw last year with Jan Yannick, who came and played with us, he was drafted a couple years ago by the Coyotes, played and finished out his junior career, and then when he hit 20, let's send him to Tucson and get him ready to come up to the National Hockey League.
Yeah, and it's been working. The experiment of having Tucson Roadrunners down here just south of Phoenix and getting the players ready and creating superstars and key players to be able to contribute when they're called up has been working for the Coyotes. It's been fantastic to see the people that we've been celebrating and cheering on here locally go on to the big show and make a name and create buzz and become viral. And it's all that great stuff. So let's talk back again about really coping and bouncing back from a pandemic, because this is still strange to me, and I need to know more about the dynamic of this, because you guys were hit with all this at once, because not only are you protecting like the fans, you got to protect the players too. Yeah. So I mean, how close were you to just calling off the entire season altogether as in a league?
Interestingly, it's like we looked at it, and I always tried to make sure we stayed positive with it, and we're planning that there was something going to happen from a season. I figure if it never happened, then we'd deal with it at that time and pull the plug at that point. So I always thought we were going to get there, but that uncertainty of not knowing when was the big challenge. I mean, we kind of hit August to realize, about a year ago, we realized we're not starting on time. October's not happening. Right. So then we all started gearing towards a December start date. I believe the December 10th was the exact date. And we started gearing towards that and say, that's not going to happen either.
Yeah.
And then we kind of thought, well, somewhere in mid to late January, maybe February 1st. And then the NHL really paved the way by deciding we're going to play the NBA. Then we're going to start on Christmas. Okay. So once the other leagues started to get going, they at least had the blueprint that we could follow. And we started right around the 1st of February.
Were the players on the team still in town and practicing, or did they go back home and were just waiting for the phone call?
Believe it, they were at home all the way up until I want to say Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So the uncertainty from their end, think of that. They got sent home in, April, and, they sit there wondering if they're going to play. They've got to stay in shape. They've got to obviously continue their level of professionalism. And they didn't really start having organized practices and getting going till somewhere there in late November. And then if you remember around that time, that's when, a couple of surges started to happen after Thanksgiving. So then you have to deal with, COVID running potentially into some guys in a locker room, or how are we going to protect ourselves against this? No vaccines really yet at that point.
Right.
So, it was hit and miss day by day. It really, when you hear that old phrase of living day by day, it really, took to how, a pro sports team was operating over the course of those, at that point, those 10 months.
Yeah. And I feel for all those players, if you think about it, all these young players, that was probably the longest stretch of them not playing hockey in their entire life.
Yeah. What discipline. I mean,
right.
I'm sure it would have been a lot easier just to kind of skip the gym that morning and,
yeah.
Not go for the run and whatever else they needed to do. I mean, no one's keeping an eye on them. They're at home, wherever that is. I mean, we have players that, Ivan Prosvetov, our goaltender, was back in Europe, back, across seas. So, you couldn't keep an eye on him. You couldn't really deal with him. You did the best you could. Our trainers and the staff, the medical staff, trying to work on their development, really did a great job of keeping good close tabs, giving them great programs to work on. And then when they came back in, you could really see who paid attention to the program and who might need to catch up a little bit.
Right. Yeah. They would get busted just by how they were breathing when they got off the ice.
Right. Yeah.
You're like, oh, you were just watching Netflix, weren't you, buddy? Don't lie.
That's right.
Don't lie. Yeah. But that's huge. So yeah, this last season, how many games were there in total? It was a shortened season.
Yeah, it was supposed to be. It was really that was the other part. There's so many things that you just take for granted. That, like, this is what it is. You had the ability to kind of pivot a little bit and be nimble in what you're doing. So our league, the American Hockey League, teams got to pick how many games they wanted to play.
Oh, nice.
So we had. I want to say the low end was a couple of teams back east, like Providence and Hartford, Bridgeport, Connecticut. I think they were in the 28 range. And we played our entire division. We're very unified within our division, the Pacific Division. We're close with our teams. We all talk regularly. Throughout the pandemic, we were talking nearly weekly on just making sure we stayed strong as a division. And we all were in alignment to get 40 games in. We were all trying to get our 40 games in. So that's what we scheduled. I want to say a dozen or so were canceled, due to potential outbreaks, or just to be, really there was nothing that was serious within any of our teams, but the phrase that, kind of took over, the abundance of caution.
Yeah.
We did that quite a bit. The Roadrunners unfortunately had to cancel 3 games, all home games.
Right.
And again, those were out of an abundance of caution. As it turned out, we did not have positive tests and we're in a good spot. And, but we just wanted to make sure we were safe and taking care of it, and had to cancel 3 games. So we played the Roadrunners, I believe it was 37 total.
Oh, that's good.
And canceling only 3.
Yeah, and I was able to jump on the last 5 games of the season and actually interact with fans again, which I didn't think was going to happen.
Well, that was a whole stepstone process, because game 1 we had 0 fans.
Right.
The craziest thing you've ever seen or ever heard. You had a complete quiet after a goal. You could hear the coaches talking to the players. 0 fans for a while. Then the first kind of level we hit was 650. And even that, it was amazing. 650 felt like 6,000 compared to the 0.
Yeah.
But you're still looking around. It's like, my gosh, you've got, 20 people in each section. And it's like, this just looks really strange. By the time we got back into it, and where we were able to, kind of put on a great the show we're used to doing. And that's when obviously, brought many of our staff members back at that point, and the people that do such a great job in entertaining the fans like yourself, and our mascot was a part of it, and so on. So then it was nice to kind of see that normalcy in the last handful of games. In the last game of the year, Fan Appreciation Night gave away, 1,500 items. Everyone that was in the crowd got something for free.
Yeah,
that was kind of a nice moment to think, can't wait till October. This is going to be outstanding to get back to where we were. Because, you look at February 2020, really when this all started, and then into March, the momentum for the Roadrunners was great. I mean, first place, best team in the West, and crowds were growing and growing. We were on pace to have our best year ever as far as the financial component with all the draw of the fans, and our partnerships had grown, staff had grown, and then all of a sudden you hit this, and it was just all kind of stunted. So it's nice to get that momentum going again.
Yeah, and that's happening this year, and you could tell. I mean, people are coming back, even when they were coming back at the tail end of last season, even though it wasn't our best record of the season. The excitement of being able to come back and enjoy live professional sports again wasn't lost on anybody.
It wasn't, and it's funny, because I look at it like I think maybe one of the best, coaching jobs and things that went on was last year with the way that our entire coaching staff was functioning because of the pandemic. Because our head coach, you think of all these crazy kind of ripples that were in there. The head coach ends up having to spend the year in Phoenix with the Coyotes because the Coyotes are keeping up to 8 of our players up there on what they call the taxi squad, right? So some teams only had a few players on there. So it really, I think, was a credit to what our coaching staff had done previously, because it said, hey, we want all these Roadrunners up here to push our guys to get into the lineup if they have to. And all of them really did by the end of the year. They saw some significant time with the Coyotes. That allowed a guy like Michael Bunting to break out, and Lane Peterson got injured. But, up until that point, they were saying, boy, this is probably the most creative defenseman we've got up here.
Yeah. Are we going to see Bunting back with the Roadrunners, or is he
I
staying?
doubt it.
Yeah,
I think
he made it to the show.
He's shown that the NHL is where he belongs. So I'd be really, much like Connor Garland a few years ago, I think we'd be very surprised if he came back to us. But, then our assistant coach had to take over and be the head coach. So just a strange year with it. And so the record really was not a surprise to see that there was to have a strong team, you obviously have to be, have that program in place, have that depth, that structure. And it just wasn't there last year.
Well, I'm excited about this upcoming season when it does debut, which is in October. You just announced a hat trick ticket price package and stuff. So the home opener, the teddy bear toss night, and what was the third night?
Military Appreciation. We got these great Kachina camouflage jerseys that we're going to wear on November the 13th for Military Appreciation Night. Those are our 3 big games of the first half of the season, which you just mentioned. Teddy bear toss is always great. If you haven't been a part of that, I really recommend it.
It's
as soon
such
as we
a fun
score
night.
our first goal, everyone throws stuffed animals on the ice. And I mean, we've had, I think it was more than 5,000 animals 2 years ago.
Tucson has always stepped up when they do the teddy bear toss. It is so fantastic to be able to see all those teddy bears flying through the sky over people's heads and onto the ice, and then the players go out from both teams.
Yeah, players love it. It's really funny.
Yeah.
And it's for a great cause, because then we give those to some kids around Southern Arizona. I mean, it stays right here, and we're able to help out a little bit. So those, you can get those 3 games plus a great hat, a Roadrunners hat, and that hat trick pack for $99. So I'd take advantage of that if you could, because those are the 3 big games a year. If you wait and come on your own, picking one of those games is gonna cost you. So I mean, this way you're getting all 3 for a great price.
Yeah, and then you got 3 guaranteed good times coming up.
That's right.
So plan accordingly. The big draft party is happening tomorrow night.
Tonight.
Oh yeah, tonight.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I was thinking it was Thursday already.
I know. This week's kind of gotten strange on us.
Right.
But tonight over at the Tucson Arena, 4:30 to 6:30 is the time. Your sister station, ESPN Tucson, is going to be there live.
Yep, Spears and Ali, they're going to be broadcasting. I'm going to be there as well.
Oh, cool.
And I'll be throwing popcorn at Spears while he's on the air, trying to make him crack and break, and it'll happen.
Yeah, there's going to be some fun games, different things. We have if you ever wanted a Roadrunners jersey and don't have one, tonight's the night to get it. We have a $50 off on all of our jerseys that'll be there. So you can come and grab a jersey for as cheap as you'll ever be able to get one. And, snacks, drinks, the draft up on the big board. We'll see if the Coyotes trade into the first round and get an opportunity to pick a player. If they don't, that's still, everyone's a hockey fan. So we'll see how the other teams are doing throughout the course of the draft. And, just a lot of fun times and good things going on tonight. Just a great way to be together for a couple of hours and start thinking about hockey season. It's right around the corner. It's so hot outside, right? They start thinking of the ice.
Exactly. Being inside in the air conditioning is a good time. You know, the free snacks and drinks and stuff is going to be fun. And this is the first draft party the Roadrunners are hosting, to my knowledge, correct?
Correct. Yeah. No,
so
we've partnered with the Coyotes and their parties in the past and invited our fans to like come up to Glendale or Wild Horse Pass or Gila River or whatever up there. But this is the first one we've actually held in Tucson. Yeah.
All right, then let's go out and fully represent. Have a good time from 4:30 to 6:30 today at the TCC. It is free. It is all ages. Bring the families. My buddy Dusty going to be there.
Dusty will be there
in full
force.
effect.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, he's had a great summer. I mean, Hotbird Summer is in full force.
Yes,
and, I would recommend it if you're not following Dusty on those social platforms. I'm biased for sure, but I would love to hear your input because I think it's some of the most entertaining stuff out there. It's pretty darn funny.
He does great. He does great. And he knows how to shake his tail feather too. So it's a good follow, Dusty on Instagram. All right, Tucson Roadrunners President Bob Hoffman. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, Bob. Thank you for coming in. And I will see you tonight at the TCC at 4:30.
Sounds great. Thanks so much for having me, guys.
No problem. We got Herb Stratford reviewing the movies next on Beef Vegan Presents. Excellent.
Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Let me add my feedback live stream. Hockey!
Yeah.
I love it. That's
but
awesome.
I mean, or Powers, you were so quiet the entire time. You could have asked a question or interjected at
I
any
didn't want
time.
to jump in. You were good. That was just going good.
Because Powers is a huge hockey fan as well. Grew up back east, New York. And
you're from New York.
Yeah, and the Islands went pretty far, so that was nice. But I was at Teddy Bear Toss a couple years ago. It was the best.
Yeah.
The best, yeah.
It was so fun.
It's it is easily my favorite night of the year. No matter, I mean, of any of our promotions we do, it's the best, and it's always a nerve-wracking night too. You're always just so, what if you don't score?
Yeah,
you know,
right.
You're putting pressure. The coach always will give you a look and say, "You better get one early tonight."
Yep.
You know, and thank God, we've always been pretty fortunate. I think the longest we've ever gone second period.
Okay.
But it was like tail end of second period. It did look like, oh, is this going to happen or what? 'Cause people were ready.
I was at a game one time where they didn't. There was a Teddy Bear Toss in another market, and they didn't get to it.
Oh.
It was against us. The Roadrunners were
Really?
at Ontario.
Yeah.
We shut them out 7-0. And so they didn't get to throw their bears. And so what they ended up doing is as soon as the game ended,
then they bring out the sad kids.
But it's almost like they throw it like good riddance. Like,
man, sorry we didn't score. But
right.
throw the bears now.
Yeah.
So depressing.
Yeah, I know.
But it does suck because, you know, like from a game op standpoint, there's a big U-Haul there ready to haul off like 5,000 teddy bears. It's kind of in the way for the players.
Ready to pick them up, you know. They're really standing at attention until it happens.
Yeah, like 30 kids and
on,
yeah.
Let's hit this. Let's hit the button.
Right. Yeah.
You just hope. The one year, do you remember the one year it happened like a minute in?
Yeah.
Christian Fisher, I think, was the one that got it like a minute in. And I mean, we had people outside
trying to rush in
because they're scanning in, they're getting their tickets, and they're holding these big bags
Yep.
of animals. And like, you hear the horn sound and the music, you can hear that right outside the arena. And so it's like, oh no, they just scored.
I think that might have been the one I was at because it was very quick. It was very early.
It was funny when we scored the second one. Then if it was that one, everyone that was in late,
Yep.
threw them again.
Yeah.
So then we kind of had a double bear toss. It
There
wasn't
you
as
go.
many that second time, but
Still.
it was pretty funny.
That was
It
a
like,
good time.
We weren't here when you did the first one. Let's throw this one.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. That was
No
awesome.
problem, Bob. Thanks so much.
Either, and I'm glad you're coming.
Oh yeah, definitely.
This
I think
is
I'm bringing
another
my
one, much
daughter
like the
too.
teddy bear toss. We'll see how many people come. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
we
first
threw it
time.
together quick, and but it's free and it's a Friday.
Plugging it, yeah, and there's nothing else going on. I think the only thing that might go against it, it's like it starts at 4:30.
Yeah. Well, it's the draft. Yeah, we did. Like, I think it starts. It comes on air on ESPN at like 5, 4:50 or something. So
it's still fun. I like the idea.
yeah, it could be 100 people. We'll be fine.
Here, wait.
We're gonna have a good time.
Great to meet you too. Take
Yeah,
care.
you'll see Powers around.
Heck yeah. Hockey. See, look, Beef left the thing on. He didn't even realize I'm in charge of the live stream now. Look out. Live stream. Oh, man. Let's have some fun. Oh, he's back. It's fine.
What
Just
were you saying?
nothing.
What were you
Nothing.
saying and doing?
I was actually going to try and run around to each camera.
Hello,
sir.
You can still do that.
Boom. I might still do that. Who knows?
You could do it.
A Powers show.
So funny. Every once in a while.
I leave for 2 seconds. The guy takes over my show.
That's all you got to do. Just that's your show. It's the best. It's so fun.
Yeah, the Roadrunners and the fights and all that are fantastic when you see it up close on the ice.
I really hockey's my favorite. It's just exciting, and it again even fights. And you see the chat. Jen's all about it, but she wants blood.
Yes, she
Teddy bears are
does.
good. I want blood.
Mhm.
But it is like incredibly violent, and you're so close to it. Because like at football, you're in the stands.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like with hockey, I mean, I've been at enough. Obviously, I don't go to as many as you guys do, but it's like I've been right there against the boards like, at things, and like when they slam into the boards, you're like, holy shit! What the hell just happened? I mean, it's immediate. So.
That's my favorite part of doing the arena hosting stuff is because I can stand there right on the glass. I mean, I've never been obviously on the glass in an NHL game. Those tickets are insane.
Yeah.
But to be able to be there to where I get like pushed back, like you don't want to be too close because it has a little give to it. You can get your knocked on your ass, you know.
There's
and
an
right
actual,
there.
you actually feel like that wall could give. You know what I mean? It's like there's not like you're like, fine. It's not like when you go to SeaWorld and you're like, Orca's not coming out, he's not gonna eat me. You know what I mean? The hockey players, they could actually eat you.
Yeah. Also, the puck is like nothing like something all of a sudden, boom, like a gunshot right in front of you.
Yeah.
Like wow, that would have been one of my youngest injuries was we were playing hockey in the street, just street ball hockey.
Yeah.
And the little orange ball and just slap shot. Boom!
In the face.
Right in the mouth. Bleeding. Didn't lose a tooth because it was the ball. Luckily, didn't break a nose.
You're lucky.
I remember, I just remember and kind of just laughing. Like the concept of getting knocked stupid. This happened to me once when I fell down the steps. Will you just laugh for some reason? Because of something?
Well, your body doesn't know what to do. I think.
Yeah. And it was that, but that was pretty nuts. Hockey ball to the face.
Yeah.
That's not the best time.
Maybe I'll wear a mask next time.
Yeah. It's true. Not these days, though. You can't get half these hockey players. They don't want to get vaccinated. They don't want
they don't want to wear a
just-
helmet? No, they don't want to wear a helmet, though, right?
Does that? Well, it depends on the fight.
Yeah.
Gotta get that helmet right on.
That's
Right,
true.
that's true.
That is true. Yeah.
So I gotta say, Space Jam sucks.
So bad. So bad.
I'm so upset.
I told you.
It
Did you
was
not
worse
listen to me?
than you did not warn me enough.
Yeah, I mean, he did. The thing is, he'll never like if it's a screener, like he doesn't want to piss off his.
No, I mean,
his
again,
hookup.
you were good.
He's not going to bury it that hard, but if he even shows
It
like
was
a little bit of
just
disinterest,
Yes. It was such a slapdash bunch of crap.
so bad.
It's a money grab, a shameless money grab.
The Bugs Bunny part of the end. Are you kidding? Like,
Well,
are you kidding?
And then to desexualize Lola Bunny, I mean,
How dare
they? Come on.
No, but they still
Seriously.
sexualized her a bunch. They absolutely gave you the cheesecake for those furry fans of her twirling up in the air and her giving the wink. Why'd she jump and give a slow motion wink for those cheesecake loving freaks?
There you go.
They love Lola Bunny.
They do.
She ruined a generation.
She did. How many adolescents whacked it to Lola Bunny?
Her and Sonic the Hedgehog. Look out.
Wait a minute.
Sonic, yeah,
Wait a
I
minute.
think you're tipping your own hat on that one.
Those cartoons, no, people say that furry thing.
Really?
Those Sonic cartoons from back in the 90s.
I remember the guy. It was only out for a season. What are you talking about? How's that a big
a
deal?
season? That was a long
It didn't
time.
last long.
Yes, it did.
That show did not last long.
There were two Sonic
I'm
cartoons first.
Googling it.
They did.
I remember the one in the 90s. I remember vividly
There's
because I
the one
would
where it's
jerk to
extra-
it so much.
There's the one where it's extra stupid cartoon. You're disgusting. There's the one, that Tails is cute.
Yeah.
There's the one where he loves chili dogs.
Okay.
That's the wacky one. But then there's like the serious dystopian.
Okay, yes, the chili dog one was the one that I grew up with.
Right.
That
There's like
I
a
saw. It was
dystopian
like
one.
a season on Saturday morning cartoons. You wouldn't know. You were already having
old.
like, you were a grandfather by then.
I will say, the original Scooby-Doo's, Velma.
Oh, Velma.
you know.
Velma's more popular than Daphne.
Daphne, Velma.
One of the
know.
things that disappoints me about that Scooby-Doo is the James Gunn story. That James Gunn originally wrote the screenplay for Scooby-Doo, the live action version, before it was released. And it was going to be a rated R version
Like
of
way
Scooby-Doo.
adult?
It was going to be the legit of what Scooby-Doo should be, right? You have this stoner Shaggy, and he thinks the dog talks, and the lesbian Thelma, and the hot, like the whole thing, everything that the stigma and, of Scooby-Doo, what people say Scooby-Doo is really about.
Yeah.
James Gunn had a script he said was fantastic. And the studio, they backed out like big chicken shits they are, and they watered it down.
Make that film.
Matthew Lillard was a fantastic Shaggy too.
He was.
You know what? That dude's super cool. We had him up in Napa, and
Name
Louis
drop?
was in, and he was seriously,
Yeah.
he was awesome. He was
Mhm.
like the nicest guy. I stayed in touch with him for a while. I was like, oh, come back up when you have something. And he's been busy. He's on that He's in that show with Christina Hendricks from Mad Men that just got canceled. Whatever that Bad Girl show is, whatever.
Okay, well,
He's been on that
Netflix
for a
or
couple
something.
years. I mean, that dude, he has a career. He's not just
Right. He's not
Shaggy.
unemployed.
So yeah,
Oh, he's Matthew Lillard. He still does Shaggy, the voice.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the time.
yeah,
Honestly, it was the perfect casting on that.
yeah.
Um,
Couldn't have been better.
Right. But yeah, it's just disappointing because then when I read about that story from James Gunn, and there's parts of the story details that I'm forgetting, but I remember getting that excited, being like, oh my God. In a different universe, in the multiverse, there's a version of this film that's out there that I'm like, that's a timeline I want to be on.
In this universe, there's Pornhub, and there's several versions of that's out there. Trust me.
That's true. I've
Sadly,
heard that. I've heard that from friends, acquaintances.
That's so funny.
All right, we got 35 seconds before we get into the movie segment. So I'm going to do 4 segments this hour. I want to do a quick one. We'll give you a chance for redemption.
Man, you better stack the deck because I failed miserably.
I feel like I did. I honestly feel like I did.
From here.
Well, this week it's about wrestling and just my tattoo.
No. This is the topics. The topics are strictly
tattoos.
Yeah. No, the topics are strictly Herb's family members. Name Herb's family members.
I'm gonna come out. I mean, Sue, Gertrude, and Ann. I love that.
There we go. Rock 102.1 KFMA. It is Friday. We have fun on a Friday, each and every Friday here at Beef Vegan Presents. Of course, I got my good friend Powers joining me all morning long. And the film critic extraordinaire, Mr. Herb Stratford, joining us as well. Good morning, Herb.
Good morning. Nice to be back.
Yeah, it's good to have you back. Now, each and every week, we break down 2 different categories, what's coming out to theaters and what's hitting your streaming device. But before we get into those, I want to do another round of the last word because I feel like Herb left here feeling like he got ambushed and bamboozled. Like, he got the shaft. Like I set him up to fail. And that wasn't the intention. I was trying to come up with categories that would be universal to both of these people because Powers obviously knows his comic book characters.
It's pretty Marvel universal.
Yes. Yeah. All things geek chic, he knows. But film is Herb Stratford's category. It's his expertise. I mean, he's a film critic, for God's sake. So I thought he would know more about films. My bad. But I do want to play another round in the Beef Vegan Presents competitive league between these 2 men. I'm giving Herb an opportunity for redemption and to also get a win on the board because he's 0-1 right now. Okay. So you know the rules of the game. I'm going to put 30 seconds on the clock. We'll start with Herb. I'll give a category and then you give an answer. You both have to give answers back and forth. Whoever gives the last correct answer before the time runs out will win the round. We'll do a best of 3 rounds to see who wins the game. Are you guys ready?
Sure.
All right, here we go, Herb. The category. Name a movie directed by Steven Spielberg.
E.T.
Do we go back and forth or
Yes. Yeah. That's your turn.
Well, Jaws.
Okay.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Goonies.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Schindler's List.
Okay.
Did he direct the second Raiders, Temple of Doom?
Yes.
Sure, why not? Last Crusade.
Time ran out on the clock. How do you forget Jurassic Park? Did you say Jurassic Park?
I didn't say Jurassic Park.
Nobody said Jurassic.
We're still in the 80s.
I was thinking of obscured ones too. I was thinking about, did he direct 1941? And I couldn't remember.
He did not. Okay. 1941 was directed by
Dunkirk.
No. John Landis. Did Landis direct 41? Anyway,
I'd have to look that up.
Right,
why? I mean, such a film critic, like the obscure ones. Why don't you go for the blockbusters first? Work your way down.
Because I'm going obscure. I'm trying to throw off Powers by dropping some weird knowledge on him. It's not working.
I mean, that strategy. Yeah, it's not a great strategy.
It's not working. It's strategy though, which I didn't have last time. I just sat here like an idiot. So
okay, yeah. At least you got a couple more right in that one. Okay, so Powers got round 1, but it is a best of 3. So we're going to Powers to start it off here. The category now is name a horror film without naming a sequel, and go.
Horror film without a sequel. No, that has one.
No, without naming the sequel.
Without naming the sequel?
Yeah. Hold on, I'll start over.
Start again.
I'm sorry.
Explain that to us.
Name a horror film
without naming its sequel, without naming any of its sequels. So obviously, if you did Nightmare on Elm Street, for example, you can't go.
Wait, can't do what I just
2,
did.
3, 4. Yeah, like you did with
All
Raiders of the
right.
Last Ark and all the Indiana Jones BS, right? Which I think half of those are wrong, by the way. But I digress. All right, here we go. Here's the category. Name a horror film, but no sequels. Go.
Halloween.
It Follows.
Jeepers Creepers.
The Witch.
I'm gonna say They Live. I think that counts.
Okay.
That does count. Damn it, you're breaking me on because I'm thinking about my favorite horror movies and I'm blanking on stuff.
Think of your least favorite. You're a critic.
Chucky.
There you go.
Dracula.
The Mummy.
The Mummy Returns.
Creature of the Black Lagoon.
It's a
That's
separate.
the sequel.
It's a separate.
Damn it. Controversy there.
Damn it.
It's a separate sequel.
That's a separate sequel. The word
No, I was
sequel's still
thinking-
in there.
When you said Mummy, I'm thinking Bela Lugosi, and then I'm thinking Mummy Returns.
Yes.
I'm thinking about the
Yes.
Brandon Fraser one, but that's
Right.
not. It's in the same universe.
You're absolutely right.
Universe.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give that one to Herb. He did squeeze that in at the very last moment, moment, and it was
separate franchise.
It was a sequel, though. I mean, I understand.
Or was it a reboot?
I'm calling.
Yeah.
He's trying to keep me in the game, pal.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to this third round.
That's
but I don't know. I mean, I don't feel like this is your forte, Herb. I mean, restoring old theaters, you're a pro at.
It's the pressure. I'm telling you, it's totally the
How
pressure.
much pressure could it really be on this silly little morning show?
Well,
you're not going to lose anything.
I do have him at gunpoint.
Yeah. Right.
You can't see that. It's under the table.
Real quick, last category.
All right.
Starting off with Herb. This is very plain and simple. This category. The clock's going to start as soon as I ask it. Okay.
Letters of the alphabet.
Yeah. Right. Oh no.
I might need that.
Here we go. Name a movie starring Bruce Willis. Go.
Die Hard.
Can we do sequels in this? I'll just say Hudson Hawk.
Okay.
It's got to be a movie, so I can't say Moonlighting.
Nope.
Okay. Something in the Switchgrass, which we just talked about last week. Midnight in the Switchgrass. Talking about this.
Armageddon.
Armageddon. Yeah.
Oh, obscure crap.
Oh, you're the worst in this game.
I'm just failing miserably.
Oh, that's fine.
The Sixth Sense.
You are the Sixth Sense. How do you forget the
That would have been
Sixth
great.
Sense?
Because we're
Police
talking about
one.
another M. Night movie this week. See?
Oh, so you should have even known that. But that's right. You're not good at this game. Don't worry, Herb. Next week, we'll do a whole different game. Not even the last word. And I feel like whatever game I come up with next Friday, it will be catered to make sure you don't S the bed. We have Herb Stratford telling us what movies are coming out next. You don't want to miss it. It's on Beef Vegan Presents, Rock 102.1, KFMA. Here's Living Color.
Woo!
Yeah, that should have been easier.
Yeah, it should have been way easier.
Thanks for trying.
Do not go on Jeopardy.
I mean, honestly, I put training wheels on it and held your hand, and still,
I know.
it was just like immediately after the
I'm
first
telling you,
answer.
It's like something about that, like having to respond quickly just doesn't. If I have time, I can just go deep and I'll be like, oh, this happened and that happened, and
I'll tell you what, though, you're not alone, and it's great because we've had some great moments with the guests of playing against each other with this game. Just saying just outlandish, funny things, just cracking under the pressure. And also, I have a different game where I ask people simple trivia questions. Same 30-second timer, right? But the questions are literally like, what's 7 + 5? And while they're under pressure, they're giving out they're like 14. But
it's that music, you know what I mean? And it's just like, people are listening and watching, and it's like a totally different thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you're good. Eric asks, Beef, will Brooklyn ever be on the show? I mean, if Brooklyn will probably attempt to hit me up. It's not football season. I don't know how many, as far as joint custody guests are concerned. I made a deal for Herb. I'm like, I gotta have Herb. I had Herb before the other show.
Yeah, it's true.
And God damn it, I'm gonna have him afterwards. So we have that relationship. Brooklyn, was strictly the other show. So that's one that I love Brooklyn. I love hanging out with Brooklyn and stuff. But we'll keep that. We're not gonna do the same shtick twice. Plus, Herb and I do it a little differently than he does it over there. And that's another reason why I want to do it, because it's like there's more, because we like talking movies. You like talking movies. This is like a perfect day for you to be on, Powers. Because then we really get to geek out on this stuff.
Spend a little more time. You know, I mean, that's the thing when you only got like one segment, it's tough because you can't cram it all in.
Right, you're trying to squeeze it in. And honestly, I look at this hour with Herb, and so we're still on the stream, so still talking to the mic, but I look at this as the podcast, right?
Yeah.
This is basically the television and movie podcast with the three of us talking about what's exciting and what's not. Speaking of which, I didn't watch The Black Widow yet. Have you?
Not yet.
Okay.
I didn't watch it.
It's $30 man. It's a lot of money.
I'm waiting. True. I want to watch it with a buddy. I don't want to watch it by myself. That's not fun.
Okay.
So I'm probably gonna watch it with my friend this weekend.
That's true. That's true.
But there's a person that I saw right up on that is cast as in the Black Widow, but is gonna have a larger role in the Marvel universe, who I'm very excited about. I never heard of this person before. He goes by the Dutch Giant.
Oh,
the Dutch Giant. Okay, so his name, I got to pull it up here. I'm going to Google him right now so you could see what this guy looks like. He's 7'2", and he's built like Triple H.
Really?
Yes, and Triple H, big bodybuilder, right? So he looks like a comic book come to life. He looks phenomenal. He's bigger than the Mountain.
I was gonna ask, is he bigger than the Mountain?
He's bigger than the Mountain.
Literally,
that is the standard.
Yeah, right?
You know what I mean? Like,
how
big is somebody now that Andre's gone? You know, really, you have to look at the Mountain.
He's to watch this guy. Look on the stream. Well, Powers will be able to see it. Yeah. Okay. So bringing him up. Yeah, and I'm going to show you here. Hold on, I just click on a solo picture. It's a good example picture. This is a good example picture. No Photoshop. No Photoshop. Look at those biceps, dude. And wait, there's another with a camera of. Yes. I think he's in some makeup, which is, he's going to turn into a bear. I know his character turns into a bear, which is actually underutilized. It's like, why give him CGI when he is CGI? This guy's a monster. All right.
Well, because David Harbour is, like, what's his name, Red, whatever.
Yes.
And they're talking about doing a spinoff for him with the Russian Avengers sort of concept.
Yeah.
So,
yes. And he's part of that.
Oh, okay.
He's part of that.
That makes perfect sense then, because he would be another. But I mean, he must make Harbour.
Rockwood 2.1 KFMA. Welcome back to the show. We were just discovering the Dutch Giant together. I'm hanging out with film critic Herb Stratford.
That sounds filthy.
Yeah, I know. It's like a new position.
Together, we're discovering the Dutch Giant. Don't Google this, kids.
Yeah, no. But Powers, no, honestly, Google the Dutch Giant right now. Find out what his character is, and if you know him, like legitimately. While we get into this, so we're with Herb Stratford. Let's talk about what's coming out into the theaters, what to be excited about, and what to avoid this weekend, because there's a lot of stuff on this list, right?
Yeah, this is a busy week. Some weeks we get crumbs, and some weeks we get just like, I don't know if the studios aren't paying attention to what everybody's releasing, or they're just like, whatever, we don't care. Right. So yeah, a lot of good stuff this week.
Okay, so let's start it off. What do we got?
So the first thing is Val, and this is about Val Kilmer, the actor who the last movie he's been done on the whole Mark Twain thing. He was a stage show and he wanted the movie of it. He sort of like became, Mark Twain. It was like, Al Holbrook. A lot of people have done Mark Twain, so it's not like nobody's done this. But anyway, so they had the throat cancer. Yep. And so it basically screwed up and killed him. And so it's not very interesting because it's him and he's there, right? He's got the trach, right? So he's got to do the,
which I didn't know. I didn't know he's full blown.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, which is terrifying.
He has like a whisper, and then he has that voice. You get voice you get. And so anyway, so it's him, and he's going back through. I supported him because they found out that these filmmakers, he had a trench of like thousands and thousands of hours of video, because he's an early videotape adopter. So he got a camera and he went on all of his sets. So think Tombstone, Top Gun, Batman. He was on camera with, on set with this camera, and the directors are all like, Val, get out of here with that camera. And he's like, oh, this is awesome, And so there's all this background footage, and then the rest of it is him sort of adapting to his new life, and his daughter lives next door, and he's got this son who sounds exactly like him, Jack. So Jack is doing the voiceover of the stuff that Val wrote. So it's like Val's voice, right?
Weird,
Which is sort of sad, right? Because he's talking about, when I was a kid, and it goes back to like when he was a teenager. There's footage of him and his brothers, and one of his brothers died, and just all this really interesting stuff. But then you're sort of sad because you look at him and he's like, he's not ready to be done.
No.
You know what I mean? Like he still has stuff in him, and he looks a little rough because, he's getting up there, but it's just like, you feel really bad for the guy because it's like, he's looking back on his career and he's like, damn, I was hot stuff. You know what I mean? I mean, that guy was. And, maybe if you didn't like him as a character, if you didn't like Iceman, whatever, it's like, still you had mad respect for the guy, right? I mean, he was in everything. He's Batman, for crying out loud,
right?
So it's a very bittersweet documentary, very cool to see. But I mean, it was like 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. So I mean, it's really cool to watch, but it's sort of sad at the same time.
I was watching a trailer to this while you were talking about it, and it's produced by A24, which I consider the new Miramax.
Yeah.
So that's a good sign. If you see A24 before a movie, you probably got a good movie. I still need to see Zola, by the way. And a lot of footage, so much footage of Val Kilmer. I feel like it's going to be heartbreaking. I know that he recently performed at the Rialto Theater like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So some of the staff amongst there said he couldn't be nicer, and they were optimistic that he'd be able to recover a little bit more than he is right now.
Yeah.
I didn't know he's going to be full track with that. So
I don't think he's ever come back. I mean, it's so sad. It's not like he's, been like he's in his 80s and you're like, oh, those were the days. It's like, no, he still had something in him, So,
right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what else we got here?
So Settlers is the next film we're going to talk about. And this is a movie about it's less a science. It's defined as a science fiction film, but it's really less about science fiction. It's more of like than it's just Mars. And so this family, in this sort of homesteading on Mars, and then basically these guys show up, and you're like, what's going on? Are they like bad guys? Whatever. And then, it sort of progresses. I don't want to spoil it, but I mean, so it's basically more a story about kind of family and kind of relationships. And, the daughter ends up, there's a time jump. So the daughter is older, and then she's got to deal with all this stuff. So it's more of like the old time Westerns where there's a family out in the middle of nowhere, right? And they got to figure stuff out, but it just happens to be on Mars. And it sort of ends weird. You're kind of not sure what the hell's going on at the end of it. But, if you're a science fiction fan, sure, check it out. It played, trying to think, it played a couple of festivals, so
I'm sure it played festivals, but I mean, I see that it stars Angelina Jolie's ex, Johnny Lee Miller, and immediately I'm like, oh, this is gonna suck.
Am
I wrong?
No, but you know what? He's only in it, honestly, for like 10 minutes.
Okay,
so he's gone very early, and Sophia.
That's about 9 minutes more than I could take of him, but
well, Sophia Boutella. Sophia Boutella is in it, and I don't know if you guys remember. She's in the aforementioned Mummy sequel.
Yes,
she's
Anuk
Sunaman, right? And then she was the one with the leg things and whatever that, the feet, the like springboardy kind of things, and whatever that one movie was where she was the bad guy. Yeah. She's always entertaining. She's a very dramatically beautiful woman. So she does a good job in this.
All right. Well, let us know about what's one more. Yeah. What's one more in theater pick that you can share with us before we play a song and then get back and focus on what's coming to our streaming networks?
Well, let's just touch on Old real quick. I don't have a lot to say about it because they always like to preserve the secret so they don't do press screenings for M. Night Shyamalan films. But if you've seen the trailer, the idea is that this family goes to a beach. There's a bunch of other people at the beach. All of a sudden, weird stuff starts happening. Everybody starts aging rapidly. So the kids go from like age to like age 15 in like an hour, and you're like, whoa, what's going on? And so there's this whole thing about how can they get off the beach? What's going on? And, and all this weird stuff starts happening. Typical M. Night movie where there's going to be, something, right? You know what I mean? Like you're led down one path. And let's be honest, the guy can be brilliant or he can be just disastrous.
Yeah, but it seems like he turned the corner, and recently his movies have been a little, I don't know, more leaning towards the brilliant side, right?
Yeah, I would say that. And I also think he maybe has found a kindred spirit. He's now working with Jason Blum from Blumhouse. And I think maybe those guys together, I think maybe Blumhouse is going, you know what? This really isn't fully baked. Let's keep going on this one.
Right.
But, one of the main beefs about this film from critics right now has been that the writing is just bad. You know what I mean?
Really?
And he writes it. And so it's like, you know what? Maybe you should conceive things because you've got great ideas, right?
Right.
But maybe you're not great at writing the dialogue. And it's fine with Sixth Sense. I mean, that was brilliant, right? I mean, absolutely. I love The Village. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I think Signs was good.
Yeah.
But I think maybe he's not the best writer. And he always puts himself in movies, which is a little weird too.
Well, I mean, a lot of directors do that, so I can't necessarily blame him too much as long as it's not a prominent role. But
Yeah.
I mean, I do understand that argument. If the dialogue is off, then you hire somebody to rewrite the dialogue. As long as you got the concept and the structure there, you're outlining the story of where you want to go. Then you have the people that know how to put the words together.
Yeah.
You know, it's like asking me to write the script. It's like
you're just asking for trouble.
Exactly.
Can I predict the twist ending for this M. Night Shyamalan movie?
Yes, what?
It's not a twist, it's a turn. They're microscopic creatures inside of an hourglass. Boom!
You might have just spoiled the entire film. I mean, I think that's so spot on. I'm mad at you for even telling me.
I saw your
'cause
face.
You just
Look at
ruined
that.
it. Like, you son of a bitch.
Look at
Powers.
that. Twilight Zone's coming.
Dare you? I was gonna have a Sixth Sense moment where I'm like, oh my god, he's been dead the whole time, and now it's gone. He's in a damn microglass, whatever you called it.
That.
You're lucky my memory is terrible.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah. We got more. We're going to be talking with Herb here on the stream. And when we return, speaking of streams, what's coming to your couch? Well, there's a bunch of stuff to look forward to this weekend where you don't even have to leave the comfort of your own home. All that we'll talk about next on Beef Vegan Presents.
Yeah, I don't know what the twist is. And I mean, I'm curious enough where I'll always watch his movies because I just feel like, you know what?
Is this going to be a good one?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I mean, some things like Lady in the Water, I was like, that's okay.
I still enjoyed his superhero trilogy.
Oh, yeah, I did too. No,
Yeah.
I thought that was very underappreciated.
Yeah.
And then I think, you know, like, but that Devil movie where they're in the elevator, I was kind of like,
I didn't know, you know, that's funny. That's something that we disagree on because I didn't even know that was M. Night when I watched it. I ended up just watching it randomly on HBO or something. And I just dug it. It was weird, but I just know I enjoyed it, and I watched it twice. So I rewatched it because, you know, not immediately, but I went back and I was like, I'll watch this again because it's a trip. It's a little weird. I mean, you're stuck in an elevator, so it's not like visually, you know, exciting. You know, it doesn't like cater to my ADD.
Yeah.
But I thought overall the concept and the story was pretty good.
I guess I just like it felt small to me, and I feel like his stuff has a scale. You know what I mean? Like The Village was freaking massive in my mind. That was just like he created this whole world and it was believable. And the twist, you were like, oh, you kind of got a little like dizzy. You're like, oh, wait a minute, that could actually happen. You know? And the elevator, I'm kind of like, okay, this is like an episode of Twilight Zone. You know what I mean? Or this is like
you don't know that could actually happen. There could be a real devil. You don't know that.
Yeah. I don't know. I just got done reading this book and I'm
and the
totally
book made you believe there's no devil?
No, it just
is it
made
the
me-
Bible?
No, it made me really mad at the Christians for destroying the classical world. So yeah, that's a whole nother.
Oh, is that all?
A whole nother topic.
Well, there was
Destroying the classical
back to movies, I guess. We didn't talk about Joe Bell, which is the movie with with Mark Wahlberg.
So yeah, I mean it's
this is a true story too. I was reading about this the
Yeah.
other day. It's weird that they made this a movie, to be honest with you.
You know, I think my problem with the movie is Mark Wahlberg.
Okay.
You know, and I think that's because
he's the same guy every movie.
Well, exactly. And it's like, and I think the story is really powerful. The story is, you know, he basically undertakes this walk across the United States by himself, sort of to try and raise awareness for bullying because one of his children kills himself because they were bullied for being gay. So it's a very powerful story. And
Yes.
you're like, okay,
Based
this
on
is
true
important.
story?
Yeah, 100% true.
And it's a very important story. It's interesting to see like the path he goes down because he has to struggle with, you know, first of all, accepting his son and then having the regret for what happened. But it's like, it's Mark Wahlberg. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I never not see Mark Wahlberg. And I'm just like, I wish somebody else would have been in that role.
It's true. There's two actors, Mark Wahlberg and Chris Tucker, where if you do this first, you'll not enjoy anything else they do. If you watch Boogie Nights first,
yes,
then any Mark Wahlberg movie you see, you're seeing Dirk Diggler.
You are.
And with Chris Tucker, if you
Yeah.
watch Friday first, then all you're seeing is Smokey. And that is it. There's no difference to it. What's crazy about this story about Joe Bell is, the dad, you know, he's depressed because his son passed away. So he goes on this walk. He's going to walk cross country. He doesn't even do it. and then he gets tragically hit by a semi and dies.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, beef.
Well, I mean, you're talking about the movie's not even that good, but I don't understand how they make a movie about this because I'm like, where's the ending here? I mean, he didn't even complete his goals. What did he learn? Is there any learning moment? No, he got hit by a semi.
I don't think he got halfway, right? I
No,
mean,
he didn't even get halfway.
He was like,
he made it 3 states in, and then a semi hit him in a freak accident while he's walking along the road and contemplating. And of course, obviously, he's fueled by the pain of losing a child, which I can imagine I would walk for fucking years too. I would Forrest Gump it back and forth or something like that because you can't get rid of that feeling. So you have to physically try to remove it. And so that's what he was doing. And then a semi hits him. I'm like, and it's terrible. It's a tragic story. I'm like, but you made a movie out of that?
Well, and I didn't even know that that's how it ended. So I watched the movie, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, wait, what? What just happened?
See, I ruined it for myself by even knowing about the story, and I came across it. So at least you had that moment where you're like, whoa, and then you're mad because you're like, whoa, that was it.
Just really sort of abrupt. It's sort of an abrupt ending.
Here's the thing: if that didn't happen, maybe he's just a guy that walked back and forth, and a lot of people didn't know about it. It might be that.
I guess.
Right?
Might as well have been Michael Bay directing it though, because it's like
he had very. I mean, that's probably the tragedy beyond the tragedy of him losing his life is the tragedy that in this movie you see him and he's talking to like a class of like 20 people. You know what I mean? So it's not like he was out, talking to arenas full of people and having an impact. And and maybe he found some measure of whatever out of it.
We don't even know. He was probably still in the beginning process of being pain and like the pain, regret. So there's no growth and there was no, reward for this at all. And then
no. I bet that the second you do something like that, he's got to feel a bit rewarded. It's got to be a little cathartic to talk to even if it's 20 kids.
Yeah.
And be like, one of these kids will have a better day because I was here. Perhaps
maybe maybe not. Maybe they just took up driving semis and then didn't
and then ran him over.
Didn't learn well.
They all try to get their CDLs.
It's like I'm just gonna rush out and drive a big rig.
That's the one thing to learn. Don't walk on the highway.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's really honestly the big message is walk safely.
It
or
just
have
turns
a
out
flag.
to be a 2-hour PSA, not to walk along the side of the road.
Right?
How ridiculous is that?
That is.
So yeah, Joe Bell. That wasn't the movie that he gained weight for, was it? I don't think so.
I don't think
that
so.
seems unnecessary.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah.
He's like, I'm this real actor. What was this man's waistline?
38. Yeah. Give me the cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Pass me the donuts.
Yeah, exactly. I think we're coming out of this pandemic.
So we don't have to talk about Midnight in the Switchgrass, which is the Bruce Willis Megan Fox movie because it's just terrible.
Well, we'll talk about it on the stream. So
right.
we do have a couple minutes. So how bad is it? No, I'm glad to see Megan Fox has a gig, but you know what? Bruce Willis, look these 3 people, and actually I'm excluding Machine Gun Kelly, but what did they do in Hollywood to piss off everyone in Hollywood? Because this is literally like their career is dead. Oh, yeah. All 3 of them individually, and they're get together. You got Bruce Willis, who hasn't been in anything worth noting for years. Yeah. Megan Fox, who's essentially retired, and Emil Hirsch. Emil Hirsch at one point was such a bright spot, rising star. The last thing of prominence that he did was the Quentin Tarantino film, but it was a smaller part. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Okay. But besides that, his career is dead, and I think because of his personality and his character, I think he got Me Too'd, or the way that he was acting.
It's possible.
But he did have this charisma, this look, and now he's getting nothing but shit parts, and basically his career's dead. So to see all 3 of them together, it's telling. It's very telling.
Yeah, it is interesting because it's like, what was there did one guy, is one agent rep all these people and they just dumped them into a movie or what?
Right. What's a sure paycheck that nobody's going to care about?
Sometimes I think that is what actually happened. That's how Warner Brothers casts people. They're like, here's our stable. And they'll put people. That's why Ben Affleck's Batman.
Yeah. No, you're right. But I mean, if you think about it, I mean, Into the Wild, right? I mean, Emil Hirsch. I mean, come on.
Yes.
I mean, literally.
He's shown at an early age, the guy knows how to act very well. And he could also, I mean, Alpha Dog. I even liked him in Alpha Dog.
I actually dug that movie. That's like an undiscovered gem. So many people are like, what? And I'm like, oh, you got to watch this movie. It's so good.
Dude, that I related to that too much. Like that was like my friends. That was my circle.
Really?
Like that whole story could easily, I mean, I've had friends that got killed the same kind of way. So like that was Alpha Dog was my high school. So yeah, it's a very uncomfortable movie to watch, but he was also very good.
It's a killer cast. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody in it is just on top.
They did great.
So.
Yeah, they did great.
Yep.
But yeah, so this Midnight in the Switchgrass is complete shit.
Yeah, it was 10% on Rotten Tomatoes yesterday.
Woo!
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and Bruce Willis is the one that tried to bump it up. He's the one that gave
Can
it
you
a
imagine
thumbs up.
Bruce Willis in a 10?
I don't,
You know?
I don't like to pick on people. How old is he now?
He's old enough to shit on.
He's old enough to.
Well, I'll tell you how old he is. Hang on. Give me one
Want to give
second.
a guess? I'm going to say 70.
No, he's not.
No.
I don't think he's up to 70 yet.
No, I
Is
think
he-
he's 62.
I'm not looking yet. I'm going to say he's 62.
I said 62.
Okay.
Yeah.
He
So-
was born in 55, so
Okay,
he
so it's my
is 10
parents.
years older than me, so he's 66.
Yeah, it's my
Okay.
parents' age.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's 66.
Yeah,
But
so
you
he's
know,
getting there.
For an action guy.
That's pretty
He
wild.
did
Although
something.
Liam Neeson's 70, isn't he?
Yes.
Is
But
he
you know, the
70?
fact is, Bruce Willis could hang it up as far as the action film, and the last prominent role Bruce Willis had was the Mr. Glass, and that was it.
Yeah.
And that was only because of Unbreakable, so he had to complete the story
Yeah.
and bring him back. But yeah, besides that, it's like
Neeson is
we got 30 seconds before we talk about the stream stuff. And did you look up the Dutch Giant, by the way?
I did. I got it all right here.
Okay, so tell me the character he's playing.
So the Dutch Giant, see, I thought you were describing a character. Name the Dutch Giant. No,
No.
that is this man's name
Mhm.
is Oliver Richards.
Yep.
Richters,
Uh-huh.
and he plays Ursa Major. In
Ursa
Marvel Universe,
Major.
that is a big Russian bear.
Yes.
okay, so he's part of that Russian
Yes.
bubble of
He's going to be the Russian Avengers. He's going to be part of the Russian Avengers. So they're
Makes
going to be
perfect
doing
sense.
that. Yeah.
That's fun.
That's going to be awesome.
so he's like Colossus, basically. or-
Rock 102.1 KFMA. Actually, we're talking about the Russian Avengers now because we're still talking about the Dutch Giant with Herb Stratford, film critic, and Powers hanging out here. And the Russian Avengers, the bear guy that he's going to play, what's the character's name again, Powers?
Ursa Major.
Is essentially the equivalent to the Hulk in the comic book world. So he can get as big and as strong as the Hulk. And in the comics, there's plenty of times where this like mutant bear type guy is attacking the Hulk. And I think he's a mutant as well.
There's a
So-
few various bear style. There's Grizzly is a Marvel bear.
Yes.
There's a few bears. Wendigo's kind of a creature of the woods. But yeah, Ursa Major is definitely like the Russian version of the Hulk for their Russian Avengers.
Yeah, so
Not
we
'cause
can look
bears,
forward.
Russia.
Yeah, with him being cast, we can look forward to a Russian Avengers here soon, going up against American Avengers. Like now's the time to do it because tensions are at all time high.
Or maybe those Dark Avengers. Look out.
Oh no, I don't even know what those are.
That's right. You'll see soon. You'll see soon
Okay,
enough.
now you scared me. I was talking with Herb Stratford here, talking about everything that's coming to your streaming services, and there's actually some releases here that you got to be very excited about. I know I am. Herb, start it off. What do we got here?
Let's start out with the thing we're not excited about, so we can, we
Okay.
can end strong. So let's just mention real briefly, and this is more of a note to avoid.
Mm-hmm.
Midnight in the Switchgrass. Do not be lured in by the presence of Megan Fox, Emil Hirsch, or Bruce Willis, who is delivering stinker after stinker. I mean, the toilet is clogged with Bruce Willis offerings. Let me just tell you right now, it is bad news. And he's maybe got about 10 lines. I looked at my wife after we saw this movie, and I said, what did he get paid for like a day and a half? I mean, he was like barely on set. He shows up occasionally to like lend some gravitas, but I'm sorry, Bruce. It's terrible. It's just, I don't know if you need the money, if Demi's asking you for more money for the kids or
Probably.
what. I don't know what's going on. It's bad news. Stay away from this film. It was 10% on Rotten Tomatoes yesterday. It's probably gone down.
Wow, that's crazy because
So-
2005 me was very excited about this lineup. Honestly, I was just like, oh, yeah, this
Megan
is
Fox, bless her heart. She did that movie where she was like like they were, I don't know if you guys remember, it was like they were out in the wilderness and there was like these lions and the lions were hunting her and her team. And they're making her out like she plays all these roles like she's like Denise Richards in the James Bond movie. Like all of a sudden she's like a rocket scientist, and you're like, come on, man. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't buy it.
You're just too hot to be smart. We know this. It just doesn't work out like that.
It's a curse some of us bear. I'm sorry, guys. I know.
Okay, so don't watch Midnight in the Switchgrass. Got it.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got?
We touched on this a little bit last time. Woodstock 99, Peace, Love, and Rage.
Yes.
This is definitely, if you have the HBO Max, that's the only place you can find it right now. It is worth signing up for a month.
It's out right now?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. You
I'm
got to
watching
watch
that
this.
today.
It's a doc about how Woodstock 99 just went into the toilet. Just, I mean, literally, I mean, all that mud you thought it was mud, it was not mud. I mean, that's what Woodstock 99 was.
It was Porta-Johns, yeah.
It was. And it's just a really interesting dissection. And these guys who were the organizers of Woodstock 69, Woodstock 94, and Woodstock 99, and then originally Woodstock 2019, which they were on track to do until they pulled the plug at the last possible minute, they still don't get it.
They don't understand, huh?
They are still, to this day, going, oh, we didn't do anything wrong. It's like, wait a minute, when the crowd rioted and burned the place to the down and tore down the audio tower and everything, that was okay.
Right.
Tore the fences down.
It's the 90s.
It's
the 90s.
The assaults and like everything.
Yeah, the sexual assaults were horrendous.
Yep.
The profiteering of sale of food and beverage. You couldn't bring anything in.
Right.
Except drugs. You could bring all the drugs you wanted in.
Right.
So very, very, very interesting documentary.
It turned out to be a blueprint of what not to do with major festivals, and it actually killed music festivals for a good decade before Coachella popped back up on the radar.
Right.
Like, so we did not have music festivals for years after that because it was such a stain. And then now we have this big festival culture. It's crazy too that they're doing this because the timing is weird because they just released on Netflix a series called like This Is Pop or something. Essentially, and it's basically a bunch of episodes documenting different trends that happened throughout the 90s. Basically, most of it was 90s centric, and they touched on that. They touched on Woodstock 99. They touched on the $4 bottles of water, and that was very interesting. So to see this full documentary expand on that is exciting. I like it.
Yeah, and it's got great footage, and it talks to everybody. I mean, even people you're not a fan of, it's interesting to hear their perspective. So like Moby, like Moby is in there a bunch, and he's just like, you know what? I got off the bus, and he's just like, and after years of doing this, he's like, I got a sense,
Yeah.
And you're kind of like, oh, shut up, Moby. But it's like, you're absolutely right. It's like he was just like, the vibe was just angry.
You can feel that energy.
Yeah. And he's just like, and so he said we were going to hang around for the weekend. And he's like, as soon as the show was done, we're like, we're out of here. We have got to leave right now.
Right.
And he was right. So very interesting documentary. Definitely worth checking out. And then, other stuff just to touch on, like
real quick before you touch on that, someone's calling, probably wants to talk to you and ask you a question. Rock 102.1, who's this?
This is Levi. How are you doing, man?
Good, Levi. You have a question for Herb?
For Riley, yeah.
Oh, for Riley. Okay.
we'll take
hold
a
on one
message.
second. Yeah, we'll take a message, Levi. All right. So this is okay, hold on. I don't even want to tell you, Levi. And don't worry about the banner. All right, continue. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
For
so
that.
I was going to say there's two other things I want to just touch on that are out there streaming. Turner and Hooch. I don't know why, but Disney Plus has decided to reboot, some of the more of their IP. Turner and Hooch was sort of a footnote in my mind to Tom Hanks's career. You know what I mean? It was kind of like, okay, he did it, but I mean, I'm not going to watch it again. To watch a whole series without Tom Hanks,
yeah, ridiculous.
A different dog, and they sort of have this sort of thing where like, oh, just remember the Hooch, and this is just like Hooch Reborn. Don't try and pull my heartstrings on this. It's not going to work. So I don't think this is something you necessarily want to check out unless you're a diehard Turner and Hooch fan. The thing I do want to mention from a nostalgia point of view that I'm really digging is on Apple TV Plus. It's called Physical.
Okay.
And this is Rose Byrne, and who, of course, is wonderful. She's done everything from Bridesmaids to, all kinds of stuff. She plays a woman who in the 80s sort of is at the forefront of the aerobics, right? The jazzercise, the whole thing. So she like has this husband who's a sort of a goofball. He's going to run for San Diego, city council or something. And she sort of has these issues that she's trying to work through. And she starts this career. She's like an early pioneer. Think about Jane Fonda, right? Doing like the videotapes and all these sort of sad women who really need something in their life, and this sort of kicked off this craze. It's very well done. It's sort of dark, it's sort of sexy, and it's very well done. I think we're on episode 7 of 10 maybe right now, so go check that out. I'm digging it. It's very good. It drops on Friday nights or Fridays the show, the new episodes drop. So
excellent. All right, so to quickly recap, you want to avoid Turner and Hooch, definitely check out Physical on Apple TV Plus, and the Woodstock documentary 99 Peace and Love and Rage. Peace, Love, and Rage is the name of that documentary. Is on HBO Max, and that's a must-see. Excellent job, Herb. Thank you so much. I'm excited about a bunch of these.
Yeah.
We're going to wrap things up next on Beef Vegan Presents. Make sure you stick around.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to Levi real quick. Okay. Powers, you want to be Riley? Levi, you still there?
Yes, sir.
All right, you want to talk to Riley? What do you want to ask Riley? I'll pass it along to her and see if she can come and respond to you.
So anyways, I have like 2 amazing bands that were like from the 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Newfound Glory. They gotta like play some of that, and then Simple Plan. Like those bands are like freaking awesome, man.
I don't think she's ever heard of either of those bands.
Yeah,
are they local bands?
No, Newfound Glory is like early 2000s.
Okay.
Like My Friends Over You was like a #1 song, and then Hit or Miss was too, and then
number one in America.
Simple Plan, like Perfect was probably #1
in America or like Australia. Do like people in America know who they are?
Yeah.
Okay. Newfound Glory. They sound local, but yeah, I'll pass it on. Have her check it out.
So Simple Plan, Newfound Glory, like that's way back when music was like absolutely like phenomenal.
Well, wait a second. Like Simple Plan, we're not allowed to play gangster rock or gangster rap on KFMA. So Simple Plan does sound like it was produced by Dr. Dre. Am I wrong?
No, they're not like gangster rock or anything. They're punk.
Snoop Dogg doesn't do a cameo.
Wait, what? No, I'm talking about
Simple Plan.
Newfound Glory and Simple Plan. Both of those are like hit punk bands from the early 2000s.
So Eminem's not in Simple Plan?
No, not like that. They don't.
I'm thinking of something else then.
Punk like Devo.
Okay, so it's like Devo.
Oh hell yeah.
Okay. Yeah, nice. That's awesome. Okay, so Simple Plan, a local band from Tucson. See if we could play them in the Rock 102.1 throwback lunch, the 90s lunch.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, both of those, they're like hidden gems. Like it's so good.
Okay, awesome. I'll pass it along to Riley. She'll be on that. But again, if it's gangster rap, we're not going to be able to play it. So I'm taking your word for it that it wasn't part of the West Coast gangster rap movement or part of the Wu-Tang Clan.
Wait, what? Oh, hell no.
Okay.
There's some like really fun like punk stuff.
Okay.
Like
it's not like the Method Man with the Simple Plan.
Redman.
KFMA fans will go crazy over these bands. Like seriously. Like, these days, like, so many, like, boyfriends, girlfriends break up and fight and everything.
Yeah.
Like, they talk about, like, crazy, like, screwed up relationships. So everybody can relate,
Okay. So it's love gone wrong. It's nothing like pornographic or anything, though.
Well,
does it sound like ICP? Because I think ICP rocks. So if a Simple Plan sounds anything like ICP, I'm sure she'll play it today for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So Your Love Is a Lie by Simple Plan, like amazing song.
Love Is a Lie. Got it. Okay. And now I'll have her dedicate to you.
I'm sorry, what?
I said, if she plays it, I'll have her dedicate it to you.
Right, amazing, man. Thank you so much. So, yeah, my name's Levi, and I I love rock, like rock alternative, like
and gangster rap apparently.
Like, so you know all the American Pie movies, like way back in the 2000s. Like,
Is that
play
that indie?
Like, the soundtrack to those would be like Newfound Glory, Lit, Blink 182.
Is that something
like,
that aired at
those
Sundance or something? So, is it on YouTube? American Pie? Is it like a YouTube movie?
Yeah, it's actually on Peacock.
What?
Yeah, what are you talking dirty to me, Levi?
Peacock, the free streaming thing, NBC.
It's on 3 cocks. What are you talking about? I don't understand. Maybe the phone's breaking up. I'm like, well, this is getting weird.
Oh my god, dude! No.
Okay.
What was I saying?
It's on YouTube and 3 cocks.
Did somebody say 3 cocks? I got an order for 3 cocks.
No, nobody said 3 cocks.
Okay.
Some guy's trying to give me 3 cocks in here now because he heard 3 cocks. Get out of here with those cocks.
That's 6 cocks.
Nobody ordered cocks.
6 cocks.
Nobody said cocks. He said, what did you say again, Levi?
It's Peacock. You know, like that song,
Oh.
See Your Peacock?
Oh, he said he wants to see your cock pee.
Oh, 9 cocks.
That's what happened.
Yeah, that's Katy Perry. It's definitely Katy Perry.
Oh, yeah. That's Katy Perry thing. Awesome. All right, yeah, we'll have that coming up right here.
Hey,
Rock
you
102.1.
Dude, you guys just made my day. Like, rock on, guys.
Hey, no problem. Yeah, well, thank Riley. Thank her by, liking her on Facebook and messaging her every single day.
Sliding those DMs.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah,
Nice.
definitely.
All right, Levi. You have a good one, bud. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, you too, bro.
Hey, no problem, man. I hope you get to see that cock pee.
Wow. Dude, you made my day, man.
All right, thanks. You made mine too, brother. Have a great one. Talk to you soon.
Yeah, you too. All right.
All right, Levi, everybody.
Holy, a real wrangler.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm just going to try and name different pairs of jeans.
I think you're out right
I think I
there.
am.
Levi Wrangler.
Man, he said Levi made
Lee, I got Lee in
everyone's
there.
day.
Lee, that's true.
That's about it.
Oh,
well, that was
boy.
hilarious.
Oh, wow.
That was adorable.
Wow.
That was good. Yeah, I'll clip that up and put it on the YouTubes later.
So next week, Green Knight. Have you seen the trailer?
Green Knight.
The Green Knight.
What do you mean the Green Knight? Why am I spacing on
Oh,
this?
Green
man.
Knight, like a knight,
Yeah, like Knights of Round Table. Oh my God, David Lowery, who's one of my favorite directors. He did Ghost Story. He did Ain't Them Bodies Saints. It's a King Arthur movie with Dev Patel as Sir Gawain, who is the main character in the Green Knight. It's this medieval, like A24, just ridiculously A24.
It is, yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, he knows how to
film.
sell me because honestly, they've been on fire. A24 has been on fire.
Everything they put out.
And I still haven't seen Zola. I hope that it's not on demand yet, but I will once it's on demand. And is it fantastic?
It's amazing.
Yeah, that's what I keep.
Yeah.
Oh, it makes me so
It
mad.
is amazing.
We've been talking about this goddamn movie for a year now.
I
I've been like, I
know.
can't wait to see this movie. Zola is the name of this movie, guys, and you have to check it out. It's based off of a Twitter thread, of all things, of a crazy, insane story that involves strippers and pimps and drugs and like crazy stuff.
It's in your wheelhouse, brother.
Oh my God, I know. I was like, shit, did I write it?
And Riley Keough is just spot on. She's great in everything she does, but she's great in this. So,
yeah.
She's crazy.
You didn't mention the one thing I'm concerned with. I've been counting down the days.
Okay.
It comes out immediately now. Today's the day, finally. He-Man's back.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, does it drop today?
Today, I believe, is the day.
I've been seeing some good things
excited.
on that.
All right.
I'm excited. The voice cast is amazing. Mark Hamill's Skeletor.
Yeah, and the voice cast is ridiculous.
I do a mean. Yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah, well, that's definitely on the agenda this weekend to drop in.
I might literally go watch that the second I'm done here.
Probably. Well, I mean,
Masters
it's
of
Friday.
the Universe. Get it done.
You're gonna watch one episode, pass out. You haven't gone to bed
this
yet.
one is only, I think it's like 90 minutes. It's done. I think it's an.
Oh, it's a movie.
I believe it's just a movie. I do not think it's.
I thought it was a series.
Is it a series? I could swear it's a movie.
Well, let's look it up. So
We could both be
it's
wrong.
just called Masters of the Universe.
Master of
right?
the Universe Revelation. Master of the Universe something. It'll say what it is.
Master of the Universe Revelation Tucson series, TV series, 10 episodes.
Oh my God, it's 10 episodes.
10 episodes.
I thought it was a movie.
Kevin Smith
I'm
directed.
so because
Series premiere today. Yeah.
Wow.
10 episodes.
Even better.
I don't know if they're hours or half hours. But,
Probably halves.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yo, I don't even care if they release them all at once. That's the best. I'm very excited. What's her name? Buffy's Tila. Sarah Michelle Gellar is Tila. That's exciting.
Nice.
I don't know who's playing He-Man's voice. I'm trying to remember. I don't know.
Maybe Kevin.
That's like a.
So they only have. It looks like they've only the first 5 episodes have
Okay, so
scores
then
on them. So I don't know.
I love it.
But at least there's 5.
Love it.
I would go 20 seconds and we'll wrap things up.
That's right. In case live stream doesn't quite know. They're just continuing He-Man. That's what it is. It's a continuation. Not a reboot. Not a thing.
Yep.
Just the next day after the last episode of He-Man. I love it.
There you go. Rock on 2.1 KFMA. It's been another great Friday show, and I attribute that to my guests that join me each and every Friday, Powers and film critic Herb Stratford. Excellent job, both of you guys.
Except I didn't start out strong, but I finished good.
Oh, with the games, I mean, you're the worst. And it was great, too, because as we do this league, there's got to be someone who's like the best in the league and someone who's going to be the worst right now. I mean, the way that you crack under pressure, I wouldn't bet on you being the best. I'll just say that.
So I'm the wart, right? So you got the goat and the wart. The worst.
Well, yeah, possibly. But the worst of all time, we don't know. We'll see how the season plays out.
All
There's going to be plenty of opportunities to redeem yourself. That's the good news.
Okay.
The bad news is you do terrible under pressure, and we just found that out. So before we leave, let me leave you with this. I disagree, but I understand. This is what I want to talk about. Have you ever seen professional volleyball, a female professional volleyball? It's a very fun sport to watch, and mainly it's because of the outfits. You know, they really make these girls look sexy. Nothing better than a professional volleyball player's butt. And for whatever reason, if you're the more professional you are, the less clothes you have on.
That's true.
Yes, that's just how it is. They're trying to get eyes on the product, right? I understand. And apparently there's a sport called beach handball. Very similar to volleyball. They do it over in Europe, and they have professional leagues as well. 2 in the same, but they make their players wear much less and completely show off their butts. So I'm going to show a picture here on the video stream so people know what I'm talking about. And Powers will be able to see, and Herb's making his way over there. As you can see,
Herb, let's get ready.
As you see right here, these are the outfits that they would make professional basically thongs. And the whole ass is hanging out, the entire whole ass. Well, the Norwegian team, they didn't like this, right? Or the Norway team, yeah. And so they changed their outfit to basically biker shorts. And they performed and they were fine. It did not affect their performance whatsoever. And the reason why is because they felt like it was ridiculous that they had to wear thongs to play handball. And they're absolutely right. But I disagree. I understand that they don't want to be sexualized. I understand that, but I disagree. I do know that there's be a bunch of people on the beach that are going to be watching handball because who the hell knows what handball is and who cares? Check out all these hot chicks and their asses jumping up and down. That's what people want to see. Put money in the sand. So I disagree, but I understand, right? You have the right to not be sexualized, especially when you're playing a professional sport. So absolutely stand up for yourself. And it's a shame that they're being fined. And I know that the sports organizations and athletes around the world are going to defend these women. And it's not going to be an issue. They're going to be able to wear those shorts. And thank God for that. But at the same time, I'm going to miss the good old days. So I'm ending it with I disagree, but I understand. And good for you, Team Norway, for standing up for yourselves. Thank you guys so much for listening. Riley's up next. And as always, drive safe, ride safe, and rock local.
When you wish upon a side of beef, soon will come an end to all your grief. But if you've been mean or kind of bad, I will knock out all your teeth.